Salaam alaikum, everybody. My name's Salaam, and today's title is The Quran versus the Bible. What's the difference?
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. As-salatu salam, Sayyidina Muhammad. Inshallah, today's talk, I'm going to make a comparison between the Quran and the Bible. I hope everyone can hear me clearly.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you good.
Okay, I had a little echo there for a second. I took care of that. Okay, question always arises, or things are always said that the Quran comes from the Bible. And today we're going to get that clear, if we can, inshallah, with proof from the Quran and proof from the Bible that they're completely two different books. Okay, let's just do a little bit off the top right now. Let's see, the Bible is 66 different books from 66 unknown authors, and that's the Protestant version. Now, if you have the Catholic version, it would be 78 books with 78 authors unknown. Quran is attributed only to one person. Okay? The way the Quran was put together is different than the way the Bible was put together. Well, like I said, the Bible has 66 authors, all unknown. It came together and made it into a book. And that's you have two books. You have the Old Testament and you have the New Testament together. That makes the Bible. Okay, Quran is a little different. When Quran was revealed, it was revealed audio. I know a lot of people, rappers, right? They rap, right? Get to your laboratory, you do your raps, you try them out, your first say, they whack. So you keep trying until you come up with the real tight rhymes. Right? You know what I'm saying? So you come up with the real tight rhymes. Yo, that's dope. Remember it. Okay, you remember it, you spit it, you got your music, go to the studio, and when you go to do a concert, you have to spit the same lyrics. Right? So it's through memory. So same thing with the Quran. When the Quran came down, it came down and it was expressed verbally. So the people that were around the Prophet, alayhi salatu salam, they memorized it. Just like anybody memorize a song. If you decide while you're doing the song you want to change the lyrics, people know. Hey,
you got to let them know who the prophet was, because a lot of people don't know. When you say the prophet, they don't know who you. They don't even know. They assume
Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salatu salam. When Prophet Muhammad received revelation, he spoke it to his people, and they memorized it, just the same way he memorized it. Just like if you have a song you say it a certain way. If you change it, everybody will say, hey, that's not the way the song goes. So and the same thing goes with the Quran. It was memorized by hundreds of thousands of companions of the Prophet. So there's no way anybody could change it without somebody hearing, hey, that's not the way it goes. So then we have the Bible that was transmitted through paper and parchment, written by people that unknown, put it together through what they heard. But in the Quran's case, Quran was memorized before it was written, so that everybody already knew what it's saying. So it wasn't easy to change it. And it's still not easy to change it, because until today, there are people that memorize the Quran. Millions of people memorize the Quran. So you can't just change it. Okay, that's one thing. That's one proof. Another thing is, like a lot of people claim that Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam, he had copied the Bible. Now people have to understand that the Bible was not translated into Arabic 200 years after Prophet Muhammad. And Prophet Muhammad was an Arab, and he only spoke Arabic. So there was no way he could have copied it and made it and made a book out of the Old Testament and the New Testament. There was no way he could have did that. And then the New Testament wasn't translated to 1500 years, 1566 after Prophet Muhammad's death. So there was no way he could have copied it. See, people, what happens is, Christian apologists, what they do is, because we know the Bible as well as they know their Bible, but they don't know our Quran as well as we know our Quran. So what they do is, when we expose the differences, well, we're going to expose more differences, but when we expose the differences, they say, well, the Quran confirms it. The Quran confirms what's written. So what are you talking about? Why are the stories different? The stories are different. The stories of the prophets are all in the Quran and all in the Bible. The prophets are similar. Adam, Noah, Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, Noah. All the prophet is the same. So, and you have to understand, when a person is called a prophet and he belongs to the brotherhood of prophets, these people are held to higher standards than regular people. Okay, so there's no way a prophet could commit adultery. There's no way a prophet could commit murder. There's no way a prophet could get drunk. There's no way a prophet could do shameful deeds. There's no way. Yet you will see the difference between the Quran and the Bible as far as the respect that they give to the prophets. Well, whether it's respect or whether it's just a story, we'll find that out. But the point I'm trying to make is that the Bible stories of the prophets are different than the stories of the prophets in the Quran. In the Quran, the prophets are held in high esteem. They don't commit no shameful deeds. In contrast to the Bible, that accuses prophets of murder, accuses them of adultery, accuses them of homosexuality. I mean, so we're going to show and prove. I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. We're going to show and prove. Okay, so we got that already. We got the understanding that the Quran was revealed audio. You have to memorize it. Okay? And then it was written later. Bible written by 66 authors, unknown. Okay, and that Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam, he did not speak Hebrew, he did not speak Greek. And in those days, the only thing that was available was either Hebrew, Aramaic, or Greek. That's what was available, because at that time it was the Romans that held the torch for Christianity. Okay, so what we got now, Aki? Anything else? Can you help me on this a little bit?
All right, I do have something that I want to it's something I want to play that I think you might have seen it already because I know you're familiar with this channel, but it's like an 8 minute well like a 7 or 8 minute clip. I want you to hear this real quick.
All right.
Of Jesus. So it was said that the Messiah had to be of the line of King David, and it's found in various Old Testament books of the Bible, like Jeremiah and Isaiah. So the two Gospels in the New Testament, they provide genealogies of Jesus to validate this requirement. Now, in the book of Matthew chapter 1, verses 16, that passage goes as follows. Jacob was the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary, and Mary was the mother of Jesus, who is called the Messiah. Now, the other genealogy in the book of Luke, chapter 3.
1 second. Let me fix. You're going to hold the floor down for 1 second. I got to fix my camera. Let me fix the camera. I'll be right back. You're on mute.
Okay, well, one of the first stories that I want to start off with, we'll get back to it, but I want to read to you the Islamic version of the story of Lot. Okay, this is the Quranic version of the story of Lot. Okay, Prophet Lot was the nephew of Prophet Abraham. The story of his people and the punishment that they were inflicted with was a shocking incident in the life of Abraham. Lot went to the city of Sodom after Abraham had asked him to do so. It was the main city in the region with suburbs and satellite villages. Its people were the most immoral, insolent in nature. They were the first people in humanity to practice homosexuality. Lot called them to heed to Allah's command and to worship Him alone without associating any partners with Him. And He forbade them from the unnatural practice and abhorring act. But they ignored and rejected Lot's appeal and continued in their erroneous indecency. As a result, Allah destroyed them by a severe punishment. Here are some of the details from Quran about His people. Their story is mentioned more than one place in the Quran. Okay. And we sent Lot when He said to His people, do not commit such indecency as never any being in the world has committed. That means the people of Lot were doing things that nobody in the world had committed until that time. Not like today. Okay, go ahead, I'll play it.
Verses 23, it goes backwards and it begins as follows. Jesus was a son, so it was thought, of Joseph, the son of Heli. Now, the most common response to this is to say that the genealogy in Luke was for Mary, but that's not what the text says. It says that it's for Joseph. So was Joseph's father Jacob or Heli? No.
The weirdos are popping up. Hey, don't you see we talking about religion back there? Let me see you shake around. Let me see you shake it around. You gotta stand up and shake it. Somebody's acting crazy on this thing right now. All right, listen, don't get banned from the studio, man.
Number 9 is, what did these women actually do at the tomb? So there are some women that discovered the empty tomb of Jesus and they returned to tell others. This is recorded in the book of Matthew 28, verses 8, and it says, the women hurried away from the tomb, afraid yet filled with joy, and ran to tell his disciples. Now, this is also corroborated in the book of Luke 24, verse 9, that goes, when they came back from the tomb, they told all these things to the 11 and all the others. But Mark's account has a
Listen, this
different
ain't the day for trolling, man.
It says trembling and
Let the brother do his class. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the day for trolling. We can troll later on tonight after he done.
bewildered, the women went out and fled from the tomb. They said nothing to anyone because they were afraid. And that's found in Mark 16, verses 8. That's actually how the original version of the Gospel of Mark ended that verse.
Yeah, I'm talking with somebody in the backstage, Merc. Because I like they troll. I like they troll, but they got come on, nah, not on this channel, not right now. Not right now. Later on, I'm gonna block you next time. I don't want to block you, because I want people to see this shit. Hold up. See why nobody go outside? Now I like the way they do it, what they trolling, because y'all gonna bug out when y'all see this shit. But right now is not the time.
Later on, an addition was made that extends the verse, and it made the verse fall more in line with the accounts of Matthew and Luke. So depending on the Bible, it may read a little bit differently. All right, moving on to number 8. No one can see God. Yeah, that's mentioned in 1 John 4, verses 12. No one has ever seen God. And also, 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 16 says, no man has seen.
Now, for people that's in the chat, who has been known to see God? I think you mute. Let the man go ahead, because there's a lot going on. Who's known to see God? Get in the chat and tell us who's one person that was known to see God. Gemstone salute. This Islam class today. So Islam, if you want to let me know when you want me to start letting people up and stuff like that. If they want to act, but you muted right now.
Do me one favor. If you could put it up on your screen, find in the Bible the story of Lot. I'm going to finish reading it from the Quran, and then I want you to put it up here where everybody could read it. Can you do
All
that?
right. The biblical version
The
of Lot.
biblical version of Lot and his daughters. Yes, I'm going to finish reading this from the Quran so people can see the difference in the story.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay? And we said Lot, when he said to his people, do not commit any such indecency as has never been in all the world has been committed before you. You indeed approach men lustfully instead of women. Indeed, you are a people who are transgressors. And the only answer his people gave was that they said, expel them from your town. Surely they are a people who want to be pure. So we rescued him and his family, except for his wife. She was of those who were destroyed, and the rain came upon them, and it was the end of the sinners. Okay, that's the story of Lot, according to Quran.
So tell the people what's the gist of it for the people
Okay,
that.
the gist of it. Well, I need to see the biblical story of Lot, so I can make a compare. Okay, where is it? The story of his. What's the? Hold on, I got the verse for you, brother. I'm sorry, I got the verse for you. I got the verse for you.
I'm Jewish.
Let me see.
Don't forget to like the video on your way in, folks. Thank you. This
Okay.
now this
Genesis. Yeah, brother. The chapter is Genesis 19, 1 to 38, and I can read it if you put it up here for me. Genesis 19, 1 to 38. Okay, so I read you the story of Lot. So it's a good, clean, wholesome story you could read to a child.
1930 to 38.
Genesis 19, 1 to 38. 1 to 38. Can you read it? Can you read it for me?
Yeah. It says the two angels came to Sodom in the evening, and Lot, oh, let me do it like the Israelites. And Lot was sitting in the gate of Sodom. Let me not do that.
No. Skip all that. Skip all that. Come down a little bit. Hold on. Let me see what. Come down to like 10 or 15. See what that says. I'm just trying to get you to the part where.
They struck the blindness who were at the entrance. Both were great. They brought themselves out groping for the door. Then the men said to Lot, Have you anyone else here? Sons-in-law, sons, daughters, or anyone you have in the city, bring them out of the place. For we are about to destroy this place, because the outcry against his people has become great before the Lord, and the Lord has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and said to his son, did you talk about this? You want me to read from it?
No, that's too much. I'm trying to find the verse. It might be 17. It might be almost 20.
What part exactly?
I'm trying to find where it says where his daughters seduced him. Okay, right here. Should be right here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, here it is. Read from 30 to 35. If you want me to, I read it for you. I read it. Want me to say it? Want me to read it?
I got you. Now Lot went up out of Zor and lived in the hills with his two daughters, for he was afraid to live in Zor. So he lived in the cave with his two daughters. Wait a minute. Oh, he went out of Zor and went into the hills. Okay, to the caves. And the firstborn said to the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man on earth to come into us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve offspring from our father. Oh shit. Right? So they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went and lay with the father. He did not know when she lay down or when she arose. The next day, the firstborn said to the younger, Behold, I lay last night with my father. Let us make him drink wine tonight also. Then you go in and lie with him, and we may preserve our offspring from our father. So they made their father drink that night. Also, the younger arose and lay with him, and he did not know when she lay down or when she arose. Thus, both the daughters of Lot became pregnant by their father.
Okay. Now, that's enough.
Damn, I didn't even know all that.
That's enough. Okay, now we're going to see Lot was a prophet. Not only did he didn't know, because they got him drunk, that he had sex with his two daughters, but they also got pregnant. Now remember, Aki, Lot.
Now remind them of the story of the Quran. So just in case people.
Yeah, well, I read it to them. There was no mention of incest. The thing that what I'm trying to make understood is that Lot was Abraham's nephew. And Abraham had plenty of sons. So why would Lot's daughters need to lay with their father when they had cousins? Okay, that the Quran corrects this story. Okay, the Quran corrects this story. The Bible makes Lot look like an incest old drunken man and his two daughters, but the Quran fixes it. Okay, now Aki, I'm gonna go a little bit soft. I ain't gonna go too hard. I want you to pull up Ezekiel 23. This is to prove that the language of the Quran is different from the language of the Bible. Ezekiel 23, what they call it, the RSV version.
Can I say something? Hey, listen, this is not no attack on the Bible, my dude.
That's
Right?
right, it's that.
This is not no attack on the Bible. This is just simply, first and foremost, right? Bro said, all jokes aside, religion is not a good topic, especially if you're not 100% into your own religion. Wow, that's crazy. Show me one person known in history that was 100%. We only know one person. That's the Prophet Muhammad. We don't know nobody else. We know so many different stories. Why can't we just have a discussion?
Well,
Would you rather us talk about dissing niggas and dogging people and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Like that link that I got up there, that link is pinned for a reason. That means that anybody could come up here and speak about this. You feel me? Now when a brother's over there, Sinetta or one of them channels, you know what I'm saying? That's what he do. It's not my particular topic neither. We're not talking about religion right now. We're talking about history.
and we're talking about books, two different books.
That's it.
Everybody, because a lot of Christian apologists, they come out with these books about Islam, and the only thing we could do is just show back before you start talking about us. Check your own self before you wreck yourself. So I'd like to read Ezekiel 23, brother, and I want to make a hypothetical. I want to make a hypothetical situation between me and you. Okay? It's going to be a hypothetical situation between me and you. Okay? All right? You can blow that up? Yeah. Okay? All right. This is the hypothetical situation. Okay, Aki? Say, you my father.
Mhm.
You my father. Okay? And every day you read a verse of the Bible to me. I'm your daughter. See, I'm your like 8, 9-year-old daughter, and you're my father. And every day you read a verse of the Bible to me. Okay, it just so happens today we're on Ezekiel 23. All right, Papa, read it to me.
All right. The word of the Lord came to me, son of man. There were 2 women, daughters of the same mother, who became prostitutes.
Hey, Daddy, what's a prostitute?
What's a prostitute? Oh well,
Yeah,
a prostitute
what's that, Daddy?
ain't nothing but a hoe.
Okay. I didn't know that, Daddy.
No, now you know. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
Papa, go ahead and finish reading the story. It sounded interesting.
Trying to hoe up till she blow up. Okay, they became prostitutes in Egypt, right? Engaging in prostitution from their youth. And that land, their breasts were fondled and their virgin bosoms caressed. The
What's
old
that, Daddy? What is that?
tits and ass.
Damn, Daddy, you raw.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, come on, go ahead.
So a massive marauder, all religion and scams. That's a whole nother class. That's a whole nother. And you know something? Listen, just in case y'all don't know, if the brother will have you pull up, you can pull up. But we're not here to derail. See, the thing is that talk by itself shouldn't invoke emotions in you unless you know something different. So they became they breasts were fondled and their virgin bosoms caressed. The older name was Ahola, damn, Ahola, and her sister was Aholabah. They were mine, and they gave birth to sons and daughters. Ahola is Samaria, and Aholabah is Jerusalem. Hmm.
I skip the go. I let you skip the 20. Go to 20. You got 5, 6, 7. Go to 20, and you don't have to do all that reading.
Yeah. There she lusted after her lovers, whose genitals were like those of donkeys, and whose emission was like that of horses. So the niggas ski, bussing all in the club. So damn, this is the Bible. The Bible.
Okay. Now the question to me, the question I have is: does God talk like this to us? Just take a paint a mental picture of those words. Paint a Aki, do a verbal painting in your brain on those words.
All right, so basically, said they had dicks like donkeys, you know what I'm saying? And they was shooting to the top of the ceiling.
Does God need to talk to us like that? Is those God's word? That sounds like trick daddy let them hoes. That's what that sounds like to me.
Trick don't love them hoes.
Word. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay. Like I said, I'm coming. I'm treading lightly.
Let me say something, man. This is not a good topic. Respectfully, just go somewhere else. I'm just letting y'all know, man. You know what I mean? I'm not telling y'all to sit here and watch this. I'm not telling y'all to sit here. You're on mute, Aki.
Okay.
Nah, I'm just telling you that you're not here to disturb this content. Nothing. What I'm going to do, okay, listen. If you don't have something to add on and you don't hit the link, I'm gonna just block your ass. That's it. You feel me? This ain't even about me. I didn't even want my voice to be heard. I'm just helping the brother out present his class. That's it. You got something to talk about? You got a great idea? Holla at me. You know what I'm saying? But all that shit, yo, shoot anything that I don't like. If y'all don't like it, I don't like it. Shoot it. That's it. We're not here for debate in the chat. You want to get up on the panel, hit the link. Hit the link. Otherwise, that's it. What it's gonna get dark for you. I'm not gonna argue with you in the chat. I'm not gonna entertain nothing in the chat. I don't give a fuck how much legit you think it is in your mind. You know what I mean? We're not gonna entertain it. If it's that important, hit the chat. Otherwise, don't tell me, Kenny. I heard what you said as far as like, do we think that Islam is okay? You know, like for peace or something like that. I don't, you know, brother Kenny. The link is open for you too, brother. You know what I'm saying? This ain't about us bashing the Bible. All right? We could go anywhere with this subject. I'm gonna get the floor back to my brother. You on mute, though.
It's the title. This is the title. The Quran versus the Bible.
Now,
what
you just said on the title it also says it's the Bible X-rated. I'm gonna
absolutely.
Yet she became more and more promiscuous as she recalled the days of her youth when she was a hoe and prostitute in Egypt. She lusted after her lovers. She wanted. She wasn't just on the tape to make money. She wanted donkey dick. You know what I'm saying, with emissions like horse. So they go.
Okay. Daddy, you got a dirty mouth. You got a dirty mouth. I'm telling mama on you, boy.
Somebody just pulled up. I guess they got a question. Do you want me to let them up so they can actually?
Absolutely.
Peace.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
Mash.
How you doing, brother?
How you doing?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good.
Salute.
All right, you can hear me?
We can hear you, bro.
I'm okay. I just want to say peace and blessings to everybody.
Peace.
All right, the question that it was not really a question. It was a statement you made. That is, does God have to talk to us like that?
Absolutely. Like that. Well, I've asked a lot of Christian evangelists about it, and what they say to me is that God just keeping it real. I said, what I'm gonna do? God be keeping it real.
Who said that, Aki?
The Christians tell me that when I ask them the same question. I said, do God need to tell us about donkey genitals and horse emissions, ski? And it'd be like, God just keeping it real. Keep it real, son.
Go ahead, Mass. I want you to finish your what you were saying.
Y'all still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother.
Yeah, look. It's just like you just taking little bits of pieces and wanna play with it. He's giving you a certain. He's using the certain words like that so that he doesn't have to say what MacMean said. He ain't gonna say donkey dick. He ain't gonna say skeet to the top of this building.
I mean, but
God is not gonna say stuff like that.
Yeah, but is all that description necessary?
That picture in your mind, so you know exactly what he's talking about.
Well, listen, but I think what the brother is saying isn't necessary. We not saying, and I do believe what brother said. Even though I laughed about the Christian evangelist said that God's just keeping it real.
Yeah,
I believe that because in Islam, what we have is we have a story about one of the prophets going up to visit a law in dreams, and you know what I'm saying. Now we know as Muslims who that prophet was, but I'm gonna just in order to keep the example pure, I'm not gonna give it a name. I'm not gonna tell you who did this, and they was ordained to do a certain amount of prayers. I'm talking about like 50, and that prophet went back up to God after some prophets on his way down was like, yo, listen, I mean, on his way up, like the people's not going to be able to do that many prayers. You feel me? You feel me? So I feel like that was an example in the Quran of God keeping
Brother
prayer.
Mask.
Mash, you can hear?
yeah.
I just read you one story,
Hello?
the one
Yeah.
about Lot, about Lot and his daughters. That's one
I can't
story.
hear y'all no more.
He said
Yeah, I
that.
can hear you now.
He said that you basically.
Yeah,
He said he only
yeah,
read one story. He's not
yeah.
really.
I read you one story a Lot. Okay, that was incest. Okay, that was the story of Lot and his two daughters. Now I read you the story of the two sisters. Okay, now the point I'm trying to get to is that if I could give you more. I'm not just gonna pick out of the Bible bits and pieces. You know, I can give you more evidence. But the title of the talk was, is the Bible X-rated? Okay, God could give us a better day. God could paint us a nice picture without all the graphic depictions of
Now,
deviant sexual
now,
behavior.
now we also
That wasn't X-rated. That was
hold up.
PG-13.
But hold up, but
We made it X-rated in our heads.
no, Mass. Listen to this, right? Also, part of the title is the differences in these same stories because we do have the story of Joseph. That, you know what I mean? We have a lot of the same stories. So he's just telling you, he showed you what the Quran says about that same story, and he shows you the exact same story in the Bible, and that's just one story so far. So you gotta be patient. This is not an attack on the Bible, and this is not a cause or reason to fight or argue. This is just okay. Why? At least why was it said that way? And what he said was, according to the Christian evangelist, he said the God was just keeping it real. What would be your explanation? Well, how do you interpret that right there? Outside of you saying that we're saying that it's sexual, we're not really saying that. We're just saying that there could have been a better
My
way of
explanation.
describing it. Why wasn't it described differently?
I mean, there's a lot of words in the English language.
That's for you, man.
God described it in a way that will be able to be passed down from generation to generation. That's why he used stuff that everybody knows now, like donkeys and the emission.
Okay. Now, another question. If you have a 9-year-old daughter, can you sit down and read that story to her and explain what's going on? You gotta do the. You gotta rate. You can't say that the Bible
Don't
is.
we have 9-year-olds out here that's doing drugs and out there hoeing?
We're not talking about them. That's because they don't got no parents. If you got parents that's concerned, you got fathers, you got mothers that want to teach their children morals and standards and how to live a better life.
You just said if I could read it to my daughter.
I said,
I would read it to my daughter because I see what's going on with kids.
I couldn't do it. Me myself, I couldn't do it. I got daughters 38 years old, and I can't read it to them.
Can you keep it that real with your daughter, and you can say,
You know what I'm saying?
read this and say, yeah, she became more and more promiscuous. What's promiscuous? Well, she wanted to
And
have
then when
more,
they go outside,
right? And look,
But I mean, we Muslims, we try to have morals. It's the time to learn things and the time not to learn things.
yeah, you gotta tell it to them.
You can't. You got to go first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade. You can't be kindergarten knowing shit college kids know.
They are teaching LGBT and and
They are. My brother.
transsexuality to kids in kindergarten.
My brother. My brother. They are. Not me. Not people that I be with. They are. If you're part of the society, it could affect you. But we ain't part of
Well,
that.
then that's why I need to teach my daughter what to look out for.
Well, I mean, you don't need to teach her like that. You don't have to teach her like that. You can protect her from that. You protect her from that. You don't teach her that because certain things kids don't need to know.
Oh my God.
You can't. Can you teach her?
Brother Islam. And yo, Macmean, let me steal this from you. Macmean, let me steal this from you. Doesn't matter.
Go ahead, brother.
Does it matter if I say 2 plus 2 is 4, or if I say 2 plus 2 is fucking 4?
I mean, that's okay. A bad word is a bad word. But when you start painting pictures of deviant sexual behavior, that's like what you said when they're teaching the kids LGBTQ in first grade and kindergarten. There's a problem with that. There's a problem with that. That's not okay. That's not okay, kid. I mean, it's happening. I understand that. That's keeping it real.
What's
But
not okay? What's not okay?
It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay to have a kindergarten teacher.
Hit a rod and spoil a child, you heard?
Of course, you got to teach your children, son. You got to teach your children. But some things they don't need to know until they get to a certain age. Let a child enjoy being a child. Children don't need to have the mind of an adult. Let them enjoy being children.
Nothing. When they get to that age, they'll be well equipped to handle any situation that comes around. You're not always going to be there. We're not always going to be there.
You're going to desensitize them. You know, you got to teach them to stay away from that. Okay, I got some more examples. So I mean, if you think that's the word of God, teaching people to
awaken, how am I teach them to stay away from it if I can't tell them what it is?
Brother, children learn when they get to a certain age. You can't teach children everything. You can't, brother, please. You can't. I mean, how many children you got? How many children
every day?
How many children you got, brother? I ain't no crazy nigga, bro. I got 9 children. I got 9 children.
A son and a daughter.
I got 9 children and I got 9 grandchildren, brother. Okay? And I protect my children and I try to keep them as far away from the deviants as I can.
Hold up for 1 second. I just came back. I just went in the kitchen for a second. NSA, flash your camera. Let me see who you are. And thank you, Max, for pulling up too.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I hope I you learned something.
NSA, show your camera, man, so we can bring you on
Thank you for having me, Macmean. Brother Islam, I'm gonna continue to listen, but I wanna free it up if anybody else got anything else to say.
Okay.
It was a pleasure to talk to you guys.
Where you from, son? Where you from?
Hold up for a second. Yo, who's this?
NSA.
Brooklyn, East New York.
I'm from Brooklyn, East New York, son.
NSA.
Salute. Yeah, NSA speaking right now. Salute everybody. I'm from Newark, New Jersey.
New Lots, Bonia, Dumont.
Cypress Hill, son. Never ran, never will.
Hey, NSA, salute. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, you know I'm right outside, man. We neighbors.
Oh yeah. I like the topic you guys touching on, and I just wanted to kind of like see, just participate a little bit in the conversation. That's why I jump on. But right now I'm listening and stuff like that.
Okay, go ahead. You welcome to set up. I just want to repeat, man. This ain't no attack on the Bible or nothing like that. I believe that
on none of the religion.
Yeah, I the best times I had, not to mention up north, but that's where I had most of my intellectual conversations. You know what I'm saying? It'd be with Israelites, Muslims, Christians, and we all able to kick our shit without getting our emotions all wrapped up in it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I think that the brothers so far what we got here is the title is the Quran versus the Bible. What's the difference?
Yeah.
And is the Bible X rated? So I think we're
So
here to discuss that particular part. Islam has
okay,
only mentioned one story so far, and we, you know
okay,
what I mean?
yeah.
I think
What rating, my brother? What rating would you give this story? R. It ain't G.
what rating would y'all give this?
PG 13.
I say PG-13.
Yeah,
That means
I wanted to make a comment about that though. I wanted to make a comment about that. You got to understand. I was raised in a Christian home, whatever. When these people present the Bible to you, of course they don't present it and you know
Your mic is messing up, bro.
Not me.
sexual and stuff like that. They kind of like play with the words or use certain words that's not too like vulgar or like too too strong for kids to hear. I wanted to bring that point out.
I mean, you could use words that's very intellectual that will mean the same thing. You see what I'm saying? It could be intellectual words to mean the same thing, but be like talking over somebody's head. This is down to earth. This is keeping it real. Telling me. I need you to pull up Deuteronomy 25, verse 11, please, my brother. Brother NSA, your mic is muted.
Oh yeah, because I was letting you talk.
I'm sorry.
I
Go
didn't want
ahead,
to
brother.
intervene while you was talking. I was
I'm
just
sorry.
listening.
So
Yeah,
what's the verse?
brother Mac.
What's the verse?
Deuteronomy 25, verse 11. Let's have some fun.
Oh,
Why you laughing, man? Why is you laughing?
you dirty. Can't make this shit up though.
No, you can't. All right. You get the nicest one. You get the nicest one because some translations
Yeah.
they're a little more grainy than that. Okay, there it goes.
If two men are fighting and the wife of one of them comes to rescue her husband from his assailant, and she reaches out and seizes him by his private parts, you shall cut off her hand. Show her no pity.
Okay, let's break it down. So if I'm fighting somebody, I fight somebody, and my wife come out the house and grab him by the testicles
Yeah.
to help me. You know what I'm saying? To help me out. Say, Poppy, I got him. After that, I gotta cut her hands off.
Remember, we read this to the kids, but in another translation, it does say, when men strive together with one another, and the wife of one draweth near to.
Hey,
Okay,
that's a nice one too.
this is a nice one.
That's a nice
Right?
one too.
When
There's actually one that says testicles.
grab him by the testicles.
There's actually one translation that says that. Matter of fact,
That sounds like some Trump shit.
well, I'm just saying, this is the difference between the Quran and the Bible. Quran got no foolishness. This is foolishness. This is very foolish.
Well, you can't call it foolishness because then you're gonna
Hey,
get 10,000
go to
videos
the
made on you.
go to the New Living Translation on 25:11.
I was gonna say also some of these things are cultural, right? Like I'm from Haiti, and in Haiti, and you get your hands cut off if you steal somebody food or something simple like that. Some of these things are, I think, in the Middle East, it's still like that, where it's just traditional, where that's the culture that you don't steal from your neighbor or whatever, or that's the consequence you might pay for it.
I know a lot of Muslims in Haiti. I have some good family friends in the Haiti. They Muslim people, and they just trying to get started to teach the people a different way than was Christianity, because Christianity wasn't working. Christianity been in America for about 400 or 500 years, and they can't even take care of the racial problem. So this is why I'm here to try to bring people to Islam, to give Islam a chance to see if it can help with the social ills in society. This is why I come out here, because I want people to consider Islam, to read Quran, to try to study Quran. Even though Quran is a little bit hard to learn, but I'm not just going to tell you to do it. I will have classes to try to help people to understand and read Quran. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for clout. I'm not here for money. I'm here for my religion, because we have to stand up, and we know inside of us that we're the only cure. We know that. We know that. I dedicate this program that I'm doing to all the Muslim brothers that I've ever met in jail, or the ones that became Muslim in prison. That even though they may not be practicing today outside the walls, but to know that, remember that when they were locked up, Allah gave them guidance, Allah gave them brotherhood, and Allah gave them protection, or Allah gave them a sense of forgiveness. This is why I do this. You know what I'm saying? So if it's any Muslims out there that were in prison, that fell off, backslided, and to know that there's always still hope, and we can always still come together and read Quran on a platform and learn to build together to try to help society. Because brother, let me tell you something. People get killing every day, and they don't even know why they're getting killed. And people are killing, and they don't know why they're killing. You got kids coming to school with guns. You got teachers coming to school, men teachers coming to school with dresses. You got children starving to death in the world. Nobody gives a shit about. You got orphans. So it's a lot of things that's going on in the world that nobody even addresses. Like I said, I'm not looking for clout. I'm looking to try to spread my Islam and to try to help, because we're living in a real tough time, very tough time. And people need that. How you say, if your phone got no battery, the battery is dead. You ain't gotta make no phone call. Just like your soul. If you ain't got no battery for your soul, you like a zombie. You dead. You walking, but you dead in spirit. So that's why I do this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing this for and I'm not bashing Christianity, but Christianity's been here 500 years, and they can't even solve the racial problem. Okay, in Islam, we got Chinese Muslims, black Muslims, white Muslims, yellow, red, green. We got all kind of colors in Islam. And that's the only way to defeat the evil, is through everybody, not the black man, the white man, the devil, black man, this is that. That's not the way you're going to win, because you're not going to win racially divided. You're going to win like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Got off topic there for a second.
Let me see if I can ask you this question, right? In Islam, Allah is God, right? Can you give me a description, or like, is Allah a person that has superpower? What is Allah exactly? What is God to you in Islam?
God to me is the creator, the one that created Adam.
Sorry, so sorry, I incorrectly said that. I mean, not according to you, just according to Islam itself, not you or anybody else. Like Islam itself, what is God? What does Islam say about God?
God in Islam is the creator of Adam, Noah, Jesus, Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, Noah, Moses, Muhammad. They came These were prophets. This is why I'm doing this, because the prophets came and they were righteous men, not murderers, not sinners, like the Bible says about them. So we believe in Islam. We believe in the supreme being that created everything, like the Jews or the Christians. But the only thing about the Christians is that they have a triune God. They have Father, Son, Holy Ghost. But we only have one God, and he's unseen.
So each religion have their own version of what God is, right?
Absolutely.
So only one could be correct. What if their description of the God they're talking about is completely different? That's not even what I wanted to touch on. I wanted to ask you personally, right? As a person, I understand, me personally, I look at it like you trying to do the right thing. You came across some information, you come across something that is very, that seems like it cure the world, could help a lot of people. So you're trying to help them and spread it, right? Now, what evidence, evidence can be presented to you that it's not real? Like, let's say it's fabricated. Let's say it was made up by man. Let's give them these stories, and then we could control them like that, or we could make sure minimize crime, whatever the case may be. Let's say some men came together, conspired together, write these stories, make it look real good, sound good. What evidence would you need to know whether these men did that? How would you find out whether or not you're being lied?
If I've been lied to,
40 years old, 30 years old, thousands of years ago.
This is easy. You have to look at the people. Look at the people. Look at the kind of things that the people do. If you look at the fruit of the people, then you see what is it that they believe. Even Jesus Christ himself, he said, "You shall know them by the fruits that they bear. An evil tree will bear evil fruit. A good tree will bear bad fruit, or good fruit." Okay? And even though people could talk about Muslims and Islam, okay, they talk about us. We have our shortcomings, like anybody else has shortcomings. But if you look at the community of Muslims itself, we're the best ones in the creation. That's how you look at the people.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but that's not my question. That's not the question, though. The question is, what would be the best evidence to convince you? Let's say these things was a fairy tale. Let's say for just a second, you find these things weren't true. They were made up by men to manipulate men, to control men. Let's say I'm asking you, though. Remember, the question is, what's the best evidence could somebody present to you personally, that would make you understand that, oh, I was being lied to, or these things was false? What kind of evidence could be presented to you
you would have to understand, read Quran, and show me mistakes in it. That's what you would have to do. You would have to show me.
Yeah, but if a man,
because the Quran itself is a miracle. It has stories, and it has scientific formulas. It has mathematics. It has sonic boom. It has
I can guarantee you the Quran has. I can guarantee you the Quran has zero science in it. Yeah, that I can guarantee you. Here's the one. No. This is the question, right? If it has science in it, no. I'm about to guarantee you. This is the guarantee. If the Quran has any science in it, give me the dependent and independent variable for that science. The hypothesis. Give me the hypothesis that it presents.
Okay, I'll give you an example. How that sound?
No, that's not science. Example is not science. Science is observing natural phenomenon, forming a hypothesis where you have your independent variable.
Let me give you a chemistry lesson. A lesson on chemistry. Quran has 114 chapters. 114 chapters. If you cut the Quran in half, that'll make it 57. 57 is the middle of the Quran. The chapter name in 57 is called iron. Iron on the element scale has an atomic weight of 57. Okay? And also, the Quran proves that iron is not natural to America, to the world. Iron comes from space. Quran says, and 1400 years ago.
None of that is science. You understand that, right? None of what you're saying is science.
Well, if you don't look for it, you won't see it.
No, but you got to understand, science is simply this. You can look at it in the
Aki,
dictionary real quick. You can look at it, right?
brother,
Science is
brother,
observing natural phenomenon.
you're jumping me off the subject. McMean, please. Salam alaikum, brother. Peace upon you. Hey, McMean.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'll be in this brother's finish. Thank
All
you,
right.
brother.
Let's
Thank
say
you.
good building with you, brother. I think that conversation will be a good time. Like, but when we all have an open panel, or open discussion, or open
Yeah,
debate, I think that
uh,
we going a little bit left. But we do
yeah,
appreciate you.
exactly.
And they say, and you're always welcome up here. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like, and for the people that's gonna watch later, that's gonna look at the title, they're not gonna want to see two brothers debating in the middle of trying to get to a point. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not here to debate with nobody. I made my point. That was it. If you don't want to hear it, and keep going and keep going and keep going, and that's either atheist or scientific. It don't matter. I gave him scientific proof. The only way, if you want to find it, go look at it. Don't say about the Quran something you never read it. See, people do that. They never pick up the Quran, they never read it, and then they want to talk about it. It's like you go to school and the teacher says, I want you to do a book report on this book. Okay, you don't even read the book. So how are you going to do a book report? And you didn't read the book. If you're going to talk about Quran, read it. Okay, we got to, let's keep moving, man. Okay, Ezekiel 16:17.
Ezekiel
16 verse 17.
Okay.
See, when you have people getting into the racial thing, even though we live in a racially toxic world, we know we do. But when we dwell on that, we miss the big picture. We miss the picture of that we're all created and nobody's better than nobody. The black's not better than the white's not better than the black, the red is not better than the yellow. We have to look at each other as we're all human beings. We're all human beings, and we all go to the bathroom, and we all, we're not better than anybody else. Okay, there it is right there.
All right.
Okay, this one here is a little bit off the hook, so I'm gonna let you break it down.
Well, I'm gonna read it the way it says. You took some of your garments and made for yourself colorful shrines, and on them played the whore. The like has never been, nor shall be, nor ever shall be. You also took your beautiful jewels of my gold and of my silver, which I had given you, and made for yourself images of men, and with them played the whore.
Okay. Now that doesn't sound too nice. That doesn't sound too nice. But I'm the point I'm making is the Quran is completely different. That's the difference. That's the difference between the Quran and the Bible. The Quran doesn't have all this, all this language. What I call it, graphic depictions of deviant sexual behavior. Why can't you keep it simple? You know damn well you can't teach your children everything in life. You can't teach a 3-year-old certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because you're taking away their childhood. When children know this kind of thing, yeah, we probably live in a world nasty like that. We do live in a world nasty like that. But that doesn't mean everybody has to submit to it. We don't submit to it. I mean, there's good people in this world. Not everybody is a deviant. Not everybody thinks deviantly. Okay, okay, that just so that story. Everybody saw that what it was saying. That's
No.
God be keeping it real. Okay,
God be keeping it too real for TV.
that's on
God,
everything.
what do you think God?
I'm not trying to bash the Bible, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to bring people to read the Quran and make their own assessment. Don't talk about the Quran and you don't read it. And I thought, like I said, I am willing to open up a little class so people could sit down, and especially for my jailhouse niggas that been locked up and come back out and got ripped off by the shaitan. You know what I'm saying? That you could still always come back little by little, learn little by little, so you could at least have some kind of spirit, some spiritual in your heart, some Quran in your heart. You know what I'm saying? You know, people, like you said, Aki, whether you warn them or you do not warn them, they will not believe. Allah has set a seal on their hearts, and on their eyes is a veil, and they can't hear, and grievous is the penalty they incur. So, whether you warn them or you don't warn them, they won't believe. But there's still some that have a soft heart. And when they hear the words, the heart accepts it. You know, but like you said, some of them will never believe, no matter what you do. But we just, as Muslims, we still have to continue trying to convey the message. So we can't give up hope. You know what I'm saying? You know, hope is good as long as you do something about it. You know what I'm saying? If you got hope and you ain't doing nothing about it, then you're done. But if you got hope and you do something about it, then that's where it's at. I want to do the story of Noah. And this is probably going to be the Hebrew Israelites ain't going to like this.
Uh-oh.
All right, so we're going to do the story of Noah. And that's Genesis 9, verses 21 to 25.
All right, you said, hold on for a second. Let me pull it up real quick. What you said?
Genesis 9, verses 21 to 25.
All right, Genesis 9, 21
to 25.
Let's go to Genesis 9. Boom. All right. (21)
21 to 25. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the Bible, what the Bible says, and what the Jewish book, the Tanakh, says.
Okay.
And what the rabbis say. The rabbis are the Jewish ones.
Says here, Noah, a man, this is 20, a man of the soil proceeded to plant a vineyard. When he drank some of his wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered inside his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father naked and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it across their shoulders. Then they walked in backward and covered their father's naked body. Their faces were turned the other way so that they would not see their father naked.
And the tent rate.
Keep going.
That's fine. All right. We're gonna break this word down. Okay, because according to Jewish scriptures and the rabbi, some interpreters claim that this refers to Ham raping his father. In fact, as early as the Babylonian Talmud, Jewish interpreters held that Ham either raped his father or castrated him. Modern scholars like Hermann Gokel and Gerhard von Rad, Robert Gannon, Marty Nissian have also held this view. In this case, the argument number one, the expression saw the nakedness of his father is a euphemism for sex. Interpreters also believe that Ham raped Noah according to Leviticus to show that Moses uses the phrases uncover the nakedness to refer to sex. Okay, none of you shall approach any blood relative of his to uncover nakedness. I am your Lord. You shall not uncover nakedness of your father, that is, the nakedness of your mother. She is your mother. You are not to uncover her nakedness, nor should you uncover the nakedness of your father's wife, if it is your father's nakedness. Okay, so what it's saying here, the word uncover nakedness has to do with sex. Okay, now I'm not making this up, man. I'm reading what the Jewish Talmud says. I'm not trying to bash. I'm just trying to expose. If there's something in the Quran that you know you want to expose it. Because Muslims, we ain't gonna be shy. Because the way y'all come down on us, the least we could do is say something. So it sounds like to me, and to us it's a lie. That's a lie. Noah's sons did rape him. That's a lie. But this is what they write.
Let me say something. Well, Michael says, I understand it's a little graphic, but don't pick out the bad things. Otherwise, pick up the good things as well. Well, this is, again, right, Michael, this ain't no attack on the Bible. What he's trying to show you is the differences between the exact same stories with the Bible and other books, like the Quran. You know what I'm saying? Now, they also have other stories. Don't get it twisted. See, because Islam is telling y'all one thing. If it was me and I wanted to come for the Bible, I'll come at you like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like, excuse me, not like that. This is what Islam is coming with, right? And I'm going to show you the difference when somebody's trying to point out the bad, because at the end of the day, Muslims, we believe that Christians are just like, you know what I mean? They're people of the book. Basically, if you worship one God, you good with us. You feel me? No matter what, but there are some things that we could talk about. That's not what he's doing is being nice. Look at all this stuff about breasts and all, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's graphic. He's asking you, Michael, a dude with a daughter, would you read this to your daughter? You know what I'm saying? I'm a wall and my breasts are like towers. Then I was, you know what I'm saying? Like thy two breasts are like two young roes that are twins which feed amongst the lilies. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Can you sensibly read this to your child? We're not trying to strike at the Bible or strike at what's good in the Bible. There's plenty things that's good in the Bible, but there are many contradictions. Why? Like the brother said from the beginning, the Bible is a compilation of different things from different people. The Quran is a compilation from one person.
Yes, we're not trying to come down on the Bible, but that's the difference. That's the difference between the Bible and the Quran. You don't find that kind of language there. Yes, the Bible has 66 books, but unknown authors. And the Bible thumpers, they're going to protect it no matter what. But for real, I challenge anybody to read that to a child, to read some of these things to a child. Yeah, okay, you can say this because you want to protect the Bible. You want to protect the Bible, so you're going to say, yeah, we will, but you won't. You won't, and I guarantee you won't. You can't read nothing about no horse, donkey genitals, and horse emissions to a child, impressing the tits of virginity. That you wouldn't read that to no child. I don't give a. If you do, you ain't got no morals, man. Whoever you are, you ain't got no morals.
And there's a difference when Christians come for Muslims. When they come for Muslims, they a lot of times it's real nasty. It's disrespectful. We worshiping the devil and all of this other shit that they say when it comes down to Muslims. Now we could clap back, but we ordained to be peaceful and respectful in our whatever beliefs we are. We allow everybody else to have their beliefs. I'm not no Quran thumper or Bible thumper. He's asking a simple question: can you read this stuff to your daughter? You know what I'm saying? Cool. Like the brother said, they teaching shit that's in class. They talking about, you could be self-identify, whatever you want. They teaching about this tranny shit or whatever. Does that make it right?
Exactly.
Does that make it cool for your kid to be up in there talking about they want to be a man and they was born a daughter?
In other words, you don't care if your child is learning from somebody like that. You don't care. Oh, I'm gonna send my kid to school anyway. I ain't got no choice. If you got to teach it as a transphibian, half man, half fish. You don't send him to school, sir. You got to go to school. So you ain't got no responsibility. It's like the guy told you, Aki, he went to go see his daughter at a strip club. The man go to see his own daughter at a strip club. This is what people becoming. This is how
Clown.
they're becoming. People getting killed, don't know why they get killed. People killing, don't know why they're killing. This is why. So this is what we come to. This is what we coming to.
You can't be mad if somebody doesn't want to be a Christian or somebody doesn't want to be a Muslim. You're able to do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's for your own soul at the end of the day. So whatever you believe, that's your personal relationship with God. Trust me when I tell you that the God that I think that exists, you know what I'm saying, don't give a fuck about somebody out here that's talk. You know what I'm saying? Like they care about being seen. God give a fuck about what's going on in your heart.
You know when people crying about crime in the streets and children killing each other and children coming to school with guns, you know, and nobody's trying to give them a solution, and it just gets worse and worse. And if somebody comes up with an idea, said, "Why don't we try this? Let's see, maybe this will work." They don't want to hear that. You know why? Because they're on somebody else's payroll, saying, "Yeah, don't fuck with those people.
Yeah,
Leave those
Islam,
Muslims alone."
and Islam, they're not racist. You be any race you want. They're not trying to make you slaves in America. They're not trying to make you. You know what I'm saying? You know, we could talk about shit like that. We could go into it if y'all want to get into the religion debate. You know what I mean? And then we'd be here all fucking day. But we asking simply, can you read your child some of the stuff that you read in the Bible as if you
Exactly, my brother. Exactly. That's the whole gist. That's the whole gist. Can you read Noah's story, Lot's story, the Oklahoma story to a child? That is the point. Don't deflect the point. Don't deflect the issue. Don't change the subject. That is the subject. And if you feel that you could, good for you. Good for you. But I can't. I can't do that. Okay, I got rid of one more. This one's a little funny. This one is about David and the 200 foreskins.
oh God.
Okay, okay, all right. 2 Samuel 11. 2 Samuel 11. Let me see. You got to keep scrolling. I don't think I think it's still have to scroll. Let me find it. Hold on. I can find it. Let me see.
About making love to his white thing.
That was one. That was a woman that was married, and he fell in love with her, and he went and, you know, whatever, he slid up in her, and then he got her pregnant, and then she was married, so he sent her husband out to war on the front line so he could get killed, so he could keep the woman that had a baby. Let me see. David and the 200 foreskins. Okay, here it is. 1 Samuel 18:27. Man, I'm not trying to offend nobody. I ain't trying to offend no Christians.
What you said, one?
The challenge is open to anybody to get a Quran, read it, and come and do a program on the Quran just like I just did. The challenge is open.
What's the chapter?
1 Samuel 18, verse 27. And that's the price you pay for a wife. That's the price you pay for a wife.
Saul replied, "Say to David, the king wants no other price for the bride than 100 Philistine foreskins to take revenge on his enemies."
That's
So
what he wants.
He want to cut 100. Okay. Saul's plan was to have David fall by the hands of the Philistines. When the attendants told David these things, he was pleased to become the king's son-in-law. So before the allotted time elapsed, David took his men with him and went out and killed 200 Philistines and brought back their foreskins. They counted out the full number to the king. So that I never even knew about this shit, right? The full number killed 200. They wanted 100. They went and killed 200 niggas.
200.
Counted out. God.
And then had to pull their pants down and cut the foreskin.
And brought it back their foreskins. They counted out the full number to the king, so that the king might become so David might become the king's son-in-law. Then Saul gave him his daughter Michael and Michal
in marriage.
In marriage. These niggas
Okay,
went and chopped.
So this
I'm saying, how you be a child? How you explain foreskin? I'm just saying.
And then he had to count them.
Count them out with his hand.
He had to count them out. Yeah, get the bags at 1, 2.
You know they didn't have no latex gloves back then either.
No, hey, who knows? That might have been the currency in those days. You want to buy a car, it costs you 300 foreskins.
Foreskins, real. We want authentic foreskins too. I mean, foreskins.
Okay, so I mean, this is some of the stuff. You know, it makes me laugh. It tickled me that the Bible, God is got a good sense of humor, and I'm not doing blasphemy.
And he's keeping it real.
And he's keeping it real. And in some verses, he wanted the foreskins to be fresh. They have to be probably a little bit warm still. But the thing to me is, how the hell you kill 200 men and then you got to put their pants down and cut. Maybe he had his friends helping him.
I think he took the whole shit.
He did it by himself.
Took the whole shit. I don't know, but I'm just wondering because I do got a young daughter. Like I'm reading this shit to her. So Saul said to David, "The king wants no other price for the bride than 100 Philistine foreskins."
So and he got a wife.
Yeah. So in order for me to get a husband, daddy, you gotta go get some foreskin. What's a foreskin? Is that a video game? Nah, that's a man's.
That's
me.
Okay. All right. Okay, now I want to pull up something. I don't know if I could. Okay, you got that. Like I said, I'm not trying to make fun of nobody, but it's funny. You got to admit that shit is funny.
All right, my sister lies in the back. You want to bring her up?
I'll bring her up. Okay. Hello.
Lanice. Peace, baby girl.
Hello. She's muted.
Yeah, she'll come over our mic when she's ready to speak.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me turn my TV down. Hold on a second. Where the hell's my room?
Yeah, she'll come over our mic when she's ready to speak.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me turn my TV.
And say pull back up. Maybe he had something else to add. You want me to bring him up?
Who, me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Bring who up?
That's NSA. That's the brother that was up here early. I guess he got something finally wants to say.
All right, we can get it off his chest. Go ahead.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you perfectly. Hold on for 1 second, La.
Okay.
Go ahead, NSA.
You're muted, NSA.
You're muted, bro. You got to unmute yourself. NSA, you mute. You on mute. You got to unmute yourself. I don't think you get that. You might have to leave and then come back, bro. Because we can't hear you. Go ahead, La. What you saying?
She muted.
Yeah, she got to unmute herself. I tried to unmute just now.
Hello? Okay.
Yeah.
So I just want to say one thing and then I'm going to get off here. First of all, peace, love, blessings, assalamu alaikum, everything to everybody. So I just wanted to say this. I went to Catholic school all my life, right? And what everybody's not paying attention to is what the brother said in the beginning. 66 books, unknown authors. That means that the Bible, not disrespecting, the Bible has been written over and over and over and over again in man's image, man's words. So the translation of the original, the way the Bible was written, is a different language that nobody can decipher. Understand that, number one. Okay, now getting to that question about asking, can you tell your daughter this story or whatever? I'm going to let you know this. Like I said, I grew up from 2nd grade. I was going to Catholic school all the way up to 10th grade. All right. Let me tell you something. Yes, they talked to us about that, but they read these stories to us. How you think we know about Lot and David and Abraham and blah, blah, blah. But as children, we could not understand what they were saying. So we could not ask, oh, what do you mean by that? You understand what I'm saying? So these stories were told to us, you know what I'm saying? In different depictions, you know what I mean? So they kind of like sugarcoated them, but not, you understand? Now, at the same time, I went to a particular Catholic school when I was like in 8th grade in Riverdale. And that, forget that part. What I want to really say is this. If you think about the Quran and you think about the practices of Muslims, understand this. They cover their women from head to toe. You understand? That's out of respect. Think about what we were just reading with with Jezebels and this and that and the third. What do they do in the Bible? They running around naked, showing their bodies and themselves on display, things like that. And this ain't got nothing against the Bible, but we're reading exactly what it's saying. You understand what I'm saying? So think about that. You know what I mean? And the way that they protect pedophiles and priests and things like that. You know what I mean? So man has a different depiction of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So you have to pay attention. Just back to square one when he said the Bible is written over and over and over and over again. The flesh, this, see, things like that. Like, come on. They got names like Hosea. That's Ho. You know what I mean? So whoring, you know, you sleeping with your father. That's raping. That's you're raping.
Incest.
You understand?
Incest.
Exactly. All of that. That's and so you can't. So people out here that do follow the Bible, because like Max said, I'm not I'm not out here. You know, I believe what I believe, but you have to read what's in the read between the lines, what's in the cards. It's right here in your face. It's telling you. And he drank wine, and he was drunken, and he was uncovered with thy intent. What? It's telling you right there. He was naked. Look, all day, Samuel and the men, and he laid down naked all day and all night.
And there's probably a lot of those Catholic priests trying to live those verses. That's why so many children getting molested.
Exactly. Because these are the words that they believe.
Yeah, they see it and they do it. And that's
right,
why,
and they do it.
And that's why I say when you tell children about these things, they're gonna do it. Because that's how children are. You know. I mean, sometimes, you know, children are curious. And if you plant the seed in the head, it's gonna germinate.
That's right.
That's why children need to enjoy being children.
That's right.
They could grow up later and be grimy like us right now. But as the little children, they need to enjoy their childhood. You know? When you go to church and you sit down, because I've been to church, I've been there with all of that. When you go to church and you sit down and they read these scriptures and the pastor come out and he reading these scriptures and things like that, certain pastors, okay, certain priests break it down and they relate it to you because they know that you're a human and you're a sinner at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And half of these things that he's talking about in this Bible, you have done. You have done these things. You understand? So you are following what you are reading. You are believing what you are reading. There's nothing wrong with that, but
understand, don't be upset because there's other things out here that's depicting the right passageway. You see what I'm saying? You see how the world is following? And I'm not saying like there's nothing wrong with praising Jesus and Lord and da 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 da. There's nothing wrong with that. Thank you, God, and blah 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 and all that. There's nothing wrong saying that, but know what your belief is. Understand what you're believing. You understand what I'm saying? When they talking to you in the church and they breaking these scriptures down, they're not actually telling you the truth. You have to read between the lines. You got to read. You got to understand, because they're speaking in thoueth, this, with, thus, thee, though, thou. You understand?
Fifth thorn, fifth.
You understand? Speaking in their native tongue. You got to understand that. What you reading and what's the depiction. So people don't get upset because brother is sitting here, trying to explain to you what's the difference, because there is a difference. It's the depiction of words, of man, of who truly wrote the book. You understand? What he just told you about the prophet. And that's where we go back in the beginning, because see, brother, we didn't touch on the word prophet because we lost sight of that. With the prophet, that's disrespect. You talking about rape and sodomy and things and incest.
Drunk,
that's not
and drunk and
prophesy. That's prophesizing. You understand? Prophesizing man. But you're not uplifting a prophet, because prophets don't do that. Here we go. That's right. That's right. There you go.
Hey, Mac.
And that's what I wanted to say. So.
All right. Thank you, miss. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
I would appreciate it. That was good input. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good night. Mac, I need you to pull up Isaiah 20, verse 2. And this guy here, he is the prince of the prophets. Like I said, like people, like I said, we're not here to bash. We're not here to bash. But we want to make it clear that before you start taking the words of what other people say about Islam, you better ask a Muslim first. Because a lot of people are going to say things about Muslims that are not true. Yeah,
that seems like the thing.
It
says here, at that time, the Lord spoke through Isaiah, son of Amos. He said to him, "Take off the sackcloth from your body and the sandals from your feet." And he did so, going around stripped and barefoot.
Yes, God made Isaiah walk around naked for 3 years. For 3 years. Imagine, you're a prophet. You got to walk around your family, your children, your people. They're laughing at you because you're walking around naked for 3 years. That's very humiliating for God to order a prophet to do that. And Isaiah is a powerful prophet. I got one more, Akeem, if we got time, if you want to do some more.
3 years. Hold up. And then the Lord said, "Just as my servant Isaiah has gone stripped and barefoot for 3 years, as a sign and portent against Egypt and Cush, so the king of Assyria will lead away stripped and barefoot the Egyptian captives and the Cushite exiles, young and old, with buttocks bared, to Egypt's shame." Oh man,
that's wild, bro.
That's nasty word. That's nasty word.
This one here that I got, I don't know if you can find it.
And let's say we can't hear you, bro. If you're trying to say something, you got to unmute yourself.
Yeah, it was something real quick. I wanted to.
Your reception is horrible, bro. We can't hear you.
I was just saying, it wasn't traditional to do that. It was just a king. So
we can't hear you. We can't hear you, brother. We would love to have you up here, but we cannot hear you at all.
Okay, this one here's This one here gonna really spin your top. I don't know if you can find it. It's in the. This one is the Talmud, the Jewish book of law, and it's Babylon, Rabbah 18, verse 4. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe I can send it to you on a text if you can find it. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I just want you to know. I key for me and you, and I want you to know. Yeah, there it is. 18:4. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it too.
It's talking about children of Israel,
Yeah, this is
Moses.
this one. And I can find it. Okay, here it is.
You said Rabbit 18?
18:4, but it's not coming up that one. It's the
Now
next one.
Korah took what he took was his prayer shawl, and he went to get counsel from his wife when the Holy One, blessed be he, said, take the Levites from among the children of Israel and purify them.
Nope, this one is different.
This is talking about now, and have them pass a razor over all of their flesh. Immediately did so, Torah, boom. This is crazy. This is why I stayed out of church.
Now, hey, this is Jewish, Israelite, rabbinical stuff. This. Some of their stuff is. You think the Bible's tough? Some of that stuff they're gonna make your top spin.
Hey, look at this. You talking about this right here?
The one I was looking for is that it said that that Adam had sex with all the animals before God created Eve.
Oh, let me see that.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. Let me see.
Yeah, we got the brother Islam here. Islam Salaam. When you read the Holy Bible backwards, you get the Holy Quran.
That's wild.
Salute, Joe. I remember when I first became Muslim, and they was reading shit from right to left. I was like, man, these niggas is backwards. I just went with the flow. I didn't even know what the fuck they were doing it for. You know what I'm saying? Bestiality. Imagine if you could really go back to the origins of human, like when these niggas was out here eating each other up. If y'all ever seen Game of Thrones, type number 1 in the chat.
Okay, I think it's one called. Matter of fact, just
hold up. I'll get it together. Get it together for a second. Let me talk these people real quick.
Sorry.
Right?
Go ahead.
No, you ain't gotta be sorry. It's your show, brother. I just wanted to say something. I just want to remind people that the nature of humankind. If you can ever, okay, we got Shah Banks, you know what I'm saying, God's work in the building. He said he's seen Game of Thrones. Lani saying Game of Thrones. You tell me 2 people, including me, have seen Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones, right, will show you what human beings are capable of and why religion has come to us the way it has, right? One of the most attractive things about Islam for me, right, for people that think that Islam is not about peace because they let propaganda of the news, fake news, and all that shit tell y'all who we are. When none of you niggas even opened up a Quran. Ironically, every Muslim I know knows the Bible as well as the Quran. Now, look at that. You got a lot of people that have never opened up the Quran, don't know one verse in the Quran, never even heard, because we don't go out and sit on corners, you know what I'm saying, and yell to the top of our lungs. That's why we the fastest growing religion. There's no compulsion. We don't have to make nobody Muslim. Only thing we see, Allah says in the Quran, this is the book, in it is guidance, surely without doubt. It also says, right, in a chapter called Ankubat, Ankuba in Arabic means the spider. You know what I'm saying? And our second, so we could go to that, right? But we don't need to, but I'm gonna tell you what it says. It says that do men say that they believe and will not be tested? Surely those that came before you were tested, and God, Allah, knows those who are true from those who are false. Imagine if you could get a glimpse of what it was like back in the days during the time of Jesus. Now, here's a dude that was getting crucified on a cross, right? Yeah, that's what y'all said, right? Let's say he was crucified on the cross. We say the history proves different.
Sorry about that.
We don't believe that. We don't believe that. That's not. Now we also going to have a class about that. The difference of we talking about what's the difference? Well, we have a story of Jesus in the Quran too. What does the Quran say about Jesus? All y'all niggas that got something to say about Islam, tell me what Allah says about Jesus in the Bible in the Quran. Y'all know what it says in the Bible, but what do we say about Jesus?
Exactly.
Okay, so that's another difference. What do we say about Joseph? What about the story of Joseph? Those are the one. Those are two of the stories that's almost identical in the Bible and the Quran. But what we think about the Pharaoh is different than what the Jews think about the Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? We think about it different. We think about the Pharaoh different. We have a different depiction of these stories, and we have a certain amount of science. So the brother that came up earlier and said that's not science, when you have a God that's telling you in the Quran things that science couldn't even prove, yeah, it's not science. It's not science. It's divine information. It's a difference. Like the separation in the water, where there's a part in the water where it doesn't. You know, before X-rays, Allah told us the formation of a baby. Told us there was parts in the ocean where the salt water doesn't cross the fresh water. That's amazing. You don't understand it. Now I've seen National Geographic try to explain that shit recently, but to know it and to figure that out, who knows this type of information when that what y'all call modern science and technology didn't even exist. Islam is the religion of peace. Whatever y'all read on the news, whatever y'all seen about some suicide bomb, that shit is not no Muslims, bro. That's radical government shit. You know what I mean? Now, who controls the news? The government. Because when you get around Muslims, you find something different. If you want to know about what these countries look like, they got y'all thinking that China's a third world country. Like some of these other countries are third world countries. Like no, like Korea is fucked up. No, we're fucked up, bro. We the ones that's being fed propaganda because you cannot get on YouTube and find out what's going on in the street of China. Can you? Now, in Uganda, they made it. Listen, they found all of this gold, like the brother was saying, right? They found $40 million. I was 40 trillion dollars in gold. You know what they did? They made homosexuality punishable by death. You feel me? Islam is one of those religions that don't got no problem with racism. Like the brother said earlier in the program, he introduced us to the show saying that, y'all had a bunch of time in America to get this shit right. You know what the Bible did? Put us in chains and slaved us. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. I'm not here to bash the Bible. I'm just here to tell you that 90% of the Muslims that I know, because you got a big population of Muslims that I know that's always been Muslim and never really tampered with the Bible, but we've been taught these things in our classes. Are they teaching y'all about the Quran when you go to Bible study? Yes or no? Because we learn about the Bible when we go to Quranic studies. When I started studying Arabic, they taught me about the Bible. Those things went side by side. You can't be strong in one thing and not strong in the other thing. You feel me? Unfortunately, a lot of us come from beat up churches and shit like that. So it's easy to find refuge in something else. Luckily for me, it wasn't a gang because the church wasn't doing it for me. Straight up, man. As I studied years later, that's when I started seeing these things that the brother's presenting now. You know what I'm saying? And there's other things that we gotta have to talk about, just not right now. My bad, Aki. I didn't mean to rant
Oh no,
mid show.
brother, that was beautiful, beautiful. We appreciate that. That's well needed. But you know, we like I said, I'm here to try to help brothers that want to get back into their deen, that may have been locked down once upon a time, and they were happy being Muslim in jail, and they want like they're feeling again. They didn't come back out, started getting drunk, using drugs. You know, you can still learn. You can still be learning. You can still be
Word.
learning. You know, and for people that are not sure about Islam, you know, it's like an apple. You know, we present you this apple. You don't know how the apple tastes until you bite it. You know, I mean, you could look. Don't nobody love Jesus more than we do. Nobody. Y'all, they can say whatever they want to say because we don't blaspheme. We don't blaspheme Jesus. You know, the worst thing you could do. Look, the Bible says that Aaron and the Jews, when Moses left, built the golden calf for worship. That's what the Bible says. Aaron was a prophet. Quran says no, it was not Aaron that did that because Aaron was a prophet. How could Aaron build a golden calf to worship? You know, so that's another thing. You know, the Quran, the final thing about Quran and Bible, the final thing, because we got the Old Testament, the New Testament, and we got the Quran, the final testament. The Quran corrects the Bible. That's what it does.
The Quran, and not only that, the Quran also reiterates like there's truths. Why do you think that the Quran and the Bible have like there's certain stories? See, we talking about the differences, but there's some stories that's almost identical in the Bible. Let's listen to this. For the people that like to bash the Prophet Muhammad and disrespect Islam, this is what the Muslims think about the Prophet Jesus. Well, Jesus is a well-known figure throughout the world. In Islam, he is considered the Messiah and the messenger of Allah. Other faiths and societies have different beliefs. It's hard to find what's true about him without information literacy, right? There's a lot of history regarding him. Like when they talk about historic literacy, that means you can't paint a picture of a white man that was born in a black place. You feel me? Like that's just dumb. Now, y'all might say that, black people is just want everything to be black. And no, why does it have to be an issue of race when it deals with simple logic? It's like simple logic, my nigga. If I'm born in Africa, how does, 1,000 years later, they start making pictures of me as a white man? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand that. Now, if I was born in, like in Europe somewhere, I could, we could have a debate there. But if a motherfucker's from Nigeria and everybody else is black as a motherfucker, at most light skin, how do you present this white blue? This is crazy. You feel me? So it's like information literacy. That's really what they're saying. We revere the prophet Jesus. Now, doesn't mean that we worshiping the devil and all this other bullshit that y'all say. You know what I'm saying? Why must we lower our wing and be humble, as y'all say, right? When y'all can't even respect our beliefs. And we telling you this is what we believe. Whatever you've been seeing on the news is not us. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Do people know that Jesus' name is not found in the Old Testament? You know that? The name Jesus is not found in the Old Testament. But you know what is found in the Bible?
What?
The word whore. The word whore is written 32 times. And the word whoredom is written 62 times. That means the word whore and whoredom is written more in the Bible than Jesus' name. Shame. Shame, shame.
Hey, you ever been on ChristianMeat.com?
Hey, but Akeem, the last one. Okay, let's see what. I mean, it's up to you, man. I ain't doing nothing.
Man, this is your show. Go ahead, man.
Proverbs 23, verse 27. Here's some definitions. I ain't done. I ain't done with the Bible yet. I ain't done. I don't care if people like it or not. Truth is truth. Hawk is hawk.
Hawk is hawk.
They could get up here and write books and write books and slander the prophet. And I won't even, you know what, Aki? From now on, I will not even debate a person that slanders Muhammad. I won't even debate with them. Allah says, people like that, you leave to him. All the people that used to, like Abu Lahab, all the people that mocked the prophet and teased him and made fun of him, they either died in battle, or died from disease.
For a whore is a deep ditch. For a whore is a deep ditch. Oh shit, the King Troll is here, brother. Hey, you want to know something, Troll? The other day, y'all started off with some other shit, right? But y'all went deep, and I got a lot of fucking I enjoyed that one. Y'all went into religion, but let me just read this, and I'm gonna introduce you to my brother Salaam. All right, for a whore is a deep ditch, and the strange woman is a narrow pit. For a prostitute is a deep pit, and adulteress is a narrow well. A prostitute is a dangerous trap. A promiscuous woman is as dangerous as falling into a narrow well. So it speaks. It's basically warning you against like promiscuous women, I guess. So Islam, that's my brother King Troll. You know what I'm saying? King Troll, that's Islam. You know what I'm saying?
Peace.
Peace, brother. How you doing?
Hold on, my brother. Yeah. Oh, that night. I thought you was gonna do this that night, so that's why I was gonna try to bring everybody over here. That's why I was on for like 6 hours.
Oh boy, man, that was a great build though, because I think that no matter what, when somebody said in the comments earlier, once you get into like religion, you're gonna have it's gonna be a lot of funk. It's gonna be a lot of funk. You know what I'm saying? So, but what was the best part like for you? Like on your build, what was the best part for you?
I'm not even gonna lie, man. What I was just trying to explain is the difference between Jesus and Emmanuel. Like the man that everybody calls Jesus is Emmanuel. You know what I'm saying? So he came in the name of the Father, which is Jah, Savior, which Jesus means Joshua, but his name is actually Emmanuel, who was spoke about in a prophecy that would be born of a virgin. So that's what I was just trying to put out there myself.
I remember when you said that. Now, why? Because I know about Emmanuel, and I know people told me. Why do you say why do they say his name is Jesus if his name was Emmanuel?
Because in the Old Testament, I think Isaiah, they said one will come to bring understanding, and he will be called Father, God. Like he will have the titles of the Most High.
Okay, so it was changed like with some of the other prophets.
You said the what?
It was changed like some of the other prophets, like when like the like 12 tribes of Judah was actually the 12 tribes of Israel was actually 12 tribes of Jacob, right? So Jacob and Israel was the same exact person.
Well, what I believe is when you see what Jacob wrestled with, the man inside the desert, and he gave him the name Israel.
Yeah.
So I believe that man he was wrestling with was Satan. A lot of people say it was God he wrestled with, but man can't wrestle with the Most High.
It says in Matthew's gospel, Jesus is called Emmanuel. This is not a personal name. In Isaiah 7:14, it is seen as fulfilled, not in the name of Jesus, but in the whole account of his origin and naming. It is not that Jesus ever bore the name Emmanuel, but that it indicates his role, bringing God's presence to man. So he's saying it's more like a title. You know what I mean? Emmanuel's like a title.
Well, you know, the name Jesus or Joshua is that means the save. That means Jah, the Savior. In the Bible, it says there's only one Savior, and that man, that flesh, can't inherit the kingdom of heaven. So that flesh, that's not the Father. Man. So when Gabriel came to Mary, Gabriel told Mary that you're going to call his name Jesus. That's why he said, I didn't come in my own name, if I came in the name of the Father.
Now, do you believe that Jesus was the Son of God or a prophet of God?
The man or
in Christianity, Jesus got two natures. He got two natures. He got the nature of God and he got the nature of man.
Right. So I believe the nature of the Most High is the name he came in Jesus, and the man is Emmanuel.
One question.
Mm-hmm.
When Jesus was put on the cross,
right,
who did he cry to? And who was he then?
Well, the man Emmanuel cried, Abba, Father, the Most High.
So at that point, he was the Son.
Well, yeah, well, okay. So the Most High was speaking through the man. So sometimes you'll see in the Old Testament a messenger, an angel, will speak in the first person or the second person.
Because I always understood that Jesus had volunteered to be crucified. I understood that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We understood. But yet, when he was on the cross, he was crying.
Right, and that's what I'm telling you. Yeah.
So he wasn't really a willing volunteer to be crucified because he was crying. He would say, "Help me, God, help me. Abachi, Sabachi, help me. Let this cup pass me by." Before he said that.
Right.
But the thing is, he on the cross, mm-hmm. and he prophesied to be on the cross.
Right.
And so therefore he volunteered.
Right.
So when you volunteer, you can't renege, right? He can't renege because now he volunteered to get put on the cross, but then he crying about it.
Right, because when that man felt that pain.
Okay.
So in a prophecy, he was chosen, or you could say he chose to be the sacrifice, but that man didn't know what pain felt like, and the Most High don't feel pain. You see what I'm saying? So when he got on that cross, that man was crying out.
Okay, but he didn't give up the ghost until he got stabbed.
Right, because he had to baptize us in the Spirit.
When that Roman soldier stabbed him with the spear,
right,
that when he give up the ghost.
Right, and that's when we got baptized with the Spirit, and then after that we start speaking. They start speaking in tongues, because it said at first John came to baptize you in water, and then one will come to baptize you in the Spirit, purify you.
I was told that speaking in tongues is a fake, because if you go speak in tongues, you have to speak a language, not just
Exactly.
You got to speak a language. You know what I'm saying? That's when if you're speaking in tongues, you're speaking a language you don't know.
Right.
Just not making stuff up.
So when they spoke about that, people were speaking in Hebrew. That wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like in the Bible, they tell you it's called the Pentecost or something like that, where everybody was speaking in Hebrew, or what they call Hebrew, or that like that. When we say Pompa Saint, but that's now, like how people get up shalala, like that's not in the Bible.
Right. I know they be faking it, a lot of those people.
Right.
I know they be faking it. But look, Jesus, what language did Jesus speak?
Well, they say he spoke Aramaic.
Aramaic.
Which is Syrian.
In Aramaic, how do you say God in Arabic?
How do you say God in Aramaic?
Yes.
I'm
You
not
can Google it. You can Google it while you're
I'm
talking
not
to me.
sure. I'm not sure. I know Aramaic is Syrian, which is close to Arabic. So
Because Arabs and Jews are cousins.
right. So
You know what I'm saying?
it may be Yah, like
It's Allah. In Aramaic, God is Allah.
and what does that mean?
It means the God. Just like
So
in Islam, Allah means God, the
right.
God.
So
It's the same.
my fault. How do you say the? You said it means the God. How do
The
you say?
God.
So where's the?
Al.
How do you say the? What
Al.
part? Al, and God is what?
La. La.
La. So that's what I'm
Allah.
saying. Ya, Ja, Ah.
Aki, my brother, where you from, man?
Me?
Yeah.
The Bronx?
Bronx, Boogadan?
Yeah.
From
My folks
Boogadan?
is from South Carolina though, but yeah, I'm from the Bronx.
Okay, I lived in the South for a while, from East New York.
Okay.
I'm just a jailhouse imam. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
it's love. Hey, listen, man. The Most High speaks to it don't matter where you from.
I'm trying to get a class. I know and understand that the Quran is not really practiced or read like it should be, especially in
Right.
New York. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there's a lot of Muslims in the Bronx, man. My teacher's from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I know there's a lot of Muslims there. And I challenge anybody. Pick up a Quran, study it a little bit, and find a mistake in it. We Muslims, we be dying for people to pick up the Quran and read it and do to us what we do to Christians. We be dying for y'all to do that.
Okay, I got a verse.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a verse in the Quran where it says like Satan came in the form of an angel and
the satanic verses.
right. What is that?
That was a lot of hadith is fabricated.
Right.
Okay. So this I was just studying on that today.
The hadith is like it's almost like some hadith can be contested, almost like how we saying with the Bible. Like we saying
Right.
different people wrote it because the hadith was basically what was written about was something that was quoted that was said, and we based we judged the hadith, the authenticity based off of the characters of the people that wrote it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
what's the verse?
Wait, hold on. Let me see.
I think it has something to do with Alat, Manat, and Uzza. Those three gods of the pagan Arabs, they come from Sumer. They come from Mesopotamia. All this, like from that book from Shaka Anos was reading, all that is connected to each other. All those, that mythology and idol worship is connected. And I kind of understand that the Christians, they use this to try to throw dirt on the Quran. I understand this, that this is what they do. But I promise you, this is from a weak hadith. The Quran, brother, I just told that other brother, I said the Quran knew that iron comes from space. This is a new discovery in the 20th century, that iron is not native to Earth. It came as a meteorite, and it sits in the middle of the Earth, which is iron and nickel. This is the core of the Earth, iron and nickel. And if you look at the atomic weight, it's 57 point something. And if you open up the Quran to chapter 57, it's the center of the Quran.
Right.
I mean, this is not coincidence. Look, man is mentioned 23 times in the Quran. Woman is mentioned 23 times in the Quran. 23 and 23 is 46. We have 46 chromosomes. I mean, Quran is not just a holy book. It's not spiritual. It's a science book too, and it's a math book too. And if you can find mistakes, if math, math is right and exact. If you ever been a proper center, mathematics is right and exact. With the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, born equality. You know this is right and exact. So you can't.
I think it was 81 verse 25 or something. I got this video. They speaking about it here.
You know, it's a lot of people out there, especially what I call is evangelical Zionists.
Right.
That study Islam hard, and they take verses from the Quran in Arabic, and they try to change. Like you know, the Quran talks about slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this Arab guy, Christian Arab guy, he took the word slave and he put black in front of it.
Right.
Just to try to throw the black people off, to keep them away from Islam. This is the kind of stuff these people are doing.
Well, isn't Adam black in the Quran?
Well, I don't understand that Adam was created with the dirt from Africa.
Right.
Okay, and that everybody have the elements of the earth are also contained inside the human body. We got magnesium, we got copper, we got a lot of these different elements that we also find in the earth.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, we would say that Adam was that color. But you know, through time, people change. But we all come from Adam.
Right.
We all, regardless of what color he was, now we see that you know, we have to get along with everybody in the race, man. We can't have race superiority.
Yeah, no, I don't believe it's more than one race. I'm just saying, like, the word Adim doesn't mean like dark.
Adam means black.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Adam means black.
Right.
They are. That's my cousin. I'm Marissa Perez. That's my cousin. Yeah. So, when I was a younger brother,
Aswad is also black in Arabic.
Yes, Aswad.
We call black Aswad.
You know, a lot of racism comes from the Jews. I'm sorry to say.
Right, the Talmud. Yeah.
I'm sorry to say this because you read a lot of the Talmud. If the non-Jew is worse than an animal, worse than a dog.
Oh yeah, the goyim is cattle.
Exactly. You read it that a pregnant dog is better than a non-Jew.
Right.
This is some serious racism.
Right.
This is why sometimes Jewish people look at other people down. They look down on them because what it says. One of the ones I read, it said that Gentiles are animals in human form because a Gentile cannot serve a Jew.
Thank you, Anger. I appreciate you.
You feel me on that? You heard what I said?
Yeah.
Anger said something earlier, right? I'll do one read your early comment. Anger said 57. You know what I'm saying? What's your take on this, Anger? NSA, I don't know if your mic is working. Or I don't know what's going on with your. Right, you try to speak. Unmute yourself.
Who's that? NSA?
Yeah,
you don't have a good connection.
Yeah, it's connection. Boo boo.
But my brother, Art of War. You know, like I said, I mean that verse that you gave me. I mean, what can you do with it? What can you say to me with it? What is the issue with it?
With the Satan verse?
Yeah.
Well, from my understanding, what they saying is that Satan deceived the Prophet Muhammad into
into bowing to the idols.
That he pretended to be Gabriel, and that's where he got the Quran from.
I never heard that part. I heard that on that particular verse you're talking about, that Prophet Muhammad Salaam had bowed to the idols with the idol worshippers.
Oh, okay.
That's what I heard on that verse. But if he had done that, he would have lost all credibility.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? All his followers were like, get out of here with that. Nah. You see what I'm saying? Because that was the issue, is to get away from idol worship. That's
So how about the what's that? The Kaaba, the Kaaba.
it's on the media.
Go ahead and just say, I'm I answer about the Kaaba in a second.
Go ahead.
Oh
Answer.
yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, earlier you were talking about the Bible and you said something about David going out and cutting 1,000. I don't know the exact number of foreskin, right?
100.
Now that command didn't come. Yeah, it didn't come from God, right? It came from the king Saul, right?
We
King
wasn't
Saul.
we
King
wasn't
Saul was
talking
a
about.
righteous king.
Yeah, we said where it came from. We were just saying.
King Saul was not righteous.
Hold up a second. We were just talking about the language in itself. We wasn't speaking about the direction or where it came from.
Yeah, but the way you guys made it seem, it's like, you know, that's so bad that like I won't let my daughter listen to this because, look what the Bible is saying. It's just making an account for a king that reigned and what he did.
Okay,
I didn't really see. Of course,
No, we were just
can
having
I ask you a
fun.
question, NSA? Let me ask you this, right? Let's just say today's time. Let's just put it as today. Let's make this a today issue. Can you tell your daughter today that you about to do something that's going to require you cutting 100 niggas foreskin?
no, no.
Right then.
So
Thing
that
is,
okay. I see.
We
What
just
you
thing
talking
is,
about
brother,
the language. We just talking about the language. We see the thing is that from the Islamic perspective, there's a lot that we believe in the Bible too. We just don't believe in it wholeheartedly because of certain like obvious contradictions. It's not that we don't believe in it wholeheartedly because of the language. I think that's just the topic that Islam chose. But that's not a It's not like we just against the Bible. We just know that there's certain contradictions, and he's offering up the fact that if you know any contradictions in the Quran, tell us about it. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk about it. That's it.
on that one there, you got to understand, God does not make people or prophets do shameful things.
right.
And to do something like that, to cut the foreskins of 100 men, that's very shameful.
Yeah, but
Isaiah,
God didn't ask him to do that.
okay, so then it's just a story because God protects his
No,
prophets.
in the story, there was a evil king, or there was a king that was trying to kill
Okay,
David.
okay,
That king commended David in attempt to kill him. God has nothing to do with
okay,
that
okay,
cause.
okay. Did God tell Isaiah to take his clothes off for 3 years?
Mm.
If I'm not mistaken, that's possible. I don't remember every
Is that not
story right
shameful?
now, but I think that's possible.
Is that not shameful?
Yes, but who are we? If the description of their God, he's the ruler, he's the king. Look what he did to Job for just so he could set an example. So if he's a king, he's a ruler, he's the all known. Who are we to say what he did to somebody was shameful? I think even in Islam, if I'm not mistaken, if that's possible, where the king or whoever's ruling can commend something shameful to somebody for whatever reason.
Is that ever been written in history?
How
Has it
about
ever been in history?
the verse with what's her name? Is it Asha? Uh
Aisha,
Muhammad Aisha.
there's no
Yeah.
verses with there's nothing with Aisha.
See,
That
Also, it
these
doesn't
come
say
from
he Muhammad married a 6-year-old or something
this.
like that.
This comes from tradition, and
yeah,
all Muslims know that, and all
Aisha
Muslims know that.
his Aisha was one of his wives, but I don't think that the Quran even ever mentions Aisha.
As far as the age goes,
Mm-hmm.
we all know this hadith.
I do want to say. Let me say one thing before we get into the question of Aisha. I do want to
Okay.
say that Islam, brother Islam, we came up with this a while ago. We finally got it off. This is yeah for the people that been supporting Islam dialogues on here. He got his own channel too. We're gonna drop the link. Wednesdays and Sundays, that's when we do this. We know that it's not a topic that brings. I like chasing clout and wilding out. You know what I mean? And doing stories and stuff like that. But we do need to open up doors like this. You know what I'm saying? Salute to King Troll for pulling up. NSA, we being patient with your connection, but it's a little bit messy. But thank you for pulling up and stuff like that. Go ahead, y'all get the floor back. My bad.
You know, we know this hadith, and many traditions hold that Aisha was 19 years old. Okay, what happens is people like Christian apologists and evangelical Zionists, they read this hadith without reading the rest of it, and they take this and run and tell everybody Prophet Muhammad was a pedophile. See, this puts a hurt on Muslims, because now you have people that's slandering the Prophet, calling him a pedophile. Okay, when it's not true. How could 2.5 billion people know this hadith would consider him to be a pedophile? The thing is, there are so many elements that we believe in the devil just like everybody else does. We believe in the devil just like everybody else does. And we know the devil's going to use propaganda. We know the devil's going to try to get us to sell out. We know the devil's going to character assassinate. We know that the devil's going to do embargoes and sanctions on us, and we know that they're going to kill us too. We know this because this is how they work. But this is part of something that the Christians and the evangelicals try to use to bring people away from Islam, because they're very afraid of us. Because even though with all this propaganda, we still grow. People still coming to Islam. There's about 500,000-600,000 Latino Muslims now in South America, and 10 million Muslims in America, 75% African American descent. So it ain't you know, something like that. You know, sure, somebody says that to us, it hurts us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, you asked the question. You asked the question, right? So that was all I was doing. I was just questioning because
I wanted to add this. I wanted to add this, right? Just clarify for everybody, because even I'm gonna start reading the Quran myself, so that way when I come to talk about it, I know where I'm coming from. But you gotta direct me what to read, or because sometimes you guys say, well, we don't practice that, or we don't practice that. You gotta let me know, or give me a link I could go to. But I'm gonna finish with this. I'm sorry. I wanted to finish with this. Can you just clarify this for us, that Islam, no leader in Islam ever practiced being with a young kid, an 8-year-old or 13-year-old or 12-year-old? Can you clarify that's a false statement in that way? That's never been done? Because everybody thinking that's
I'm going to tell you something. Let me tell you something. Keeping it real, and I keep shit 100. People are people, and people do things that are bad. But if you look and you follow Islamic law, Islamic law is very severe against people that hurt children. Islamic law is very, if you look at the laws that are going down in Africa right now, it's the Muslims that's pushing it. In Uganda, in Libya, in Nigeria, in Ghana, it's the Muslims that's pushing it. As far as people go, people do messed up things. But you will hardly ever in your life see Muslim leaders caught in some deviant sexual scandal. Now, as far as the law goes, for people that hurt children, castration. Or
but you kind of like not answering what I'm asking. That's not really what I'm asking. I wanted you to clear for me that, like Muhammad and whatever other leaders that was involved in putting together the Quran, never was involved with young kids. That's what I want you to clarify. But make that clear. That let us know. No, that was never the case.
No, never. How could a religion so strong? How could a religion so strong that grows so fast be deviant? I'm gonna tell you something. Let me tell you something. In Prophet Muhammad's time, they never catch men with men. They never catch them. But in Ali's time and in Uthman's time, because unlike Jesus' disciples that ran when they came to get Jesus, Muhammad's disciples, continued. So they continued, and they catch a couple doing that. Okay, and I'm not saying this is right. No, I'm not. No, I don't know. I'm not saying. But when they catch them, and this is how severe it was, they stoned them to death. They burned the bodies, and they let the animals eat the carcass. No funeral. That's how serious it was back in those days for that type of crime. If you look at Africa, like I said, Africa, if you practice that kind of stuff, you possibly go to jail and you possibly die too. Because some people, they don't tolerate that.
Well, in the Bible, it says Satan deceived the whole world from the beginning, right? And then it say you have to have the
Married
power.
two different women, and they were young age.
Yeah.
My bad. It say you're supposed to have the power of discernment, and the word of God is not written in stone or ink. So what it's saying is you have to have the power to discern what's right and what's wrong through the Holy Spirit or through the power of the Most High. So the Bible tells you that man has been deceived from the beginning. So it tells you anything written in stone and ink is corrupt.
What about the Ten Commandments?
What you mean?
Well, the Ten Commandments was written in stone.
Right. And when Emmanuel came, he said, I know you heard that is an eye for an eye, but I'm here to tell you to turn the other cheek. The eye for an eye is in the 10 Commandments. So that is saying that the 10 Commandments was corrupt.
Can I be honest? Can I be honest? I like to be honest.
Yeah, you can be honest.
I like to be honest with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know people want to hold up for Jesus. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people want to hold up for the Bible.
Right.
That Jesus, supposedly, Jesus' words. But in the history, and this is what the Jews will say, that the religion of Jesus was hijacked by Roman mythology.
Yeah, Roman Catholics.
You see? So what they did was, like Paul, he took all the laws out.
Mm-hmm.
They took all the laws out that Jesus followed. Because Jesus said, and this is Jesus' words, not Paul, Peter, John, James, Jesus' words.
Right.
I come not to change the law,
Mm-hmm.
but to fulfill the prophecy.
Right.
If you do not live by the law, you shall die by the law.
Right.
The Ten Commandments are not laws that are hard to follow. They're not hard to follow.
And the reason why the Quran has never changed. See, at more than 1,400 years, what you see in the Quran is exactly what was said in the Quran from the beginning. Why? Because in the beginning, the Quran was taught to people. These people, like some of these cats was like little kids. To this day, millions know the Quran by heart. They call Hafiz. Once you learn the whole Quran by memory, you call the Hafiz. And you're challenged with that. But whatever was said in the beginning is the exact same thing that's said right now. So that's why it's hard to find contradictions.
So like you said, you're gonna keep it real, right? So you just told me in history, they say Jesus, or the religion of Jesus was by the Romans, right?
Well,
but doesn't the Quran say that Christians are the people of the book?
Yes, and they were, and they are. But when you start to worship, the early Christians, the Christians that came before Paul, that Paul persecuted, that Paul chased and killed, they had the Council of Nicaea with Constantine, and they changed the rules. So if anybody was practicing the rules of Jesus, they killed them. Until they killed them all, until the rules of Constantine and the Council of Nicaea were in power. That's why Christianity comes from Rome. It comes from Rome. It comes from the Italians. It comes from Italy.
Right. You talk about Catholics.
And Protestants come from Catholics.
Right. Protestants come from Catholics.
They broke off from them.
But they was called Christians at Antioch.
Well, the original Christians were called Unitarians, believe in one God. When the Romans and Paul got to mixing it, they overshadowed Jesus Christ religion, brother. I'm sorry. This is how this. I don't just believe like this. The Jews believe like this, and historians believe like this. The only ones that really die hard is the evangelicals that hold on to it because that's what they got. That's all they got in their book. But the reality is, we believe in Jesus the proper way, the way he's supposed to be believed, and we respect him. Just like they said Noah, when something happened with his sons, he got drunk. Just like they said David did something with the foreskins. Just like they did Lot had something with his daughters. Just like they did Aaron had did something with the goat. We protect Jesus' honor. We do, because we don't call him God. We don't call him Son of God. We call him by his proper name, Son of Mary. That's why we protect his honor. Just another difference between Christianity and Islam. We don't put Jesus as God because it never happened before. God incarnate as a man.
But you're talking about a sect. You're talking about a sect that believed that that man was God. I just told you that man is Emmanuel.
Well, the original Christians did not believe Jesus was God. The first person to say Jesus was the Son of God was Paul.
Well, I'm speaking of the man Emmanuel came in the name of the Father.
Jesus. That's Jesus. Emmanuel is Jesus. Same. That's his
name. He came in the name of the Father. He said, "If I come as myself, you will accept me. But I came in the name of the Father, So what you got to realize is in the Bible, the Greek, the word God can be applied to a man. It can be applied to an idol. It can be applied to Satan. So it could be applied to judges. But the Most High is the Father, which is in all, through all. So what people get confused is when they speaking of an angel, or they're speaking of, it can be even Satan. Even Satan can be called God, but the word God is just a word that comes from the Greek word theos, which comes from the Latin what is it, deus, and these words are just applied to the Most High and other entities, because that's the closest word they had for the name of the Most High, because it's really no name, is really nothing to explain the Most High. So they had to get the closest thing they can have, which was God. So that's why some say the Most High God or Father God and things of that nature.
Okay. The Trinity did not come into existence until like the 1600s.
Yeah, but what you speaking of is the interpretation that we got from pagans.
Well, if Jesus came with a message, and Paul was not even a disciple.
Right.
Paul was not even a disciple. Paul did not even know Jesus. Right. Yet he, on his way to Damascus, he has a vision.
Right.
He comes back and he starts telling people he saw Jesus in a vision and that Jesus Christ is the Son of God.
Right.
You know that the Jesus disciples wanted to beat him up. He had to run. He had to run because Jesus' disciples said, you blasphemy. So he had to run to the Romans. Right. The Romans, they saw that this Christianity was growing. So they figured, how can we control it? How can we control this? So they made the Council of Nicaea. They made Constantine. They made all these different things to make the Christianity of Jesus fit to the society of Greek mythology.
Right. So now, yes, right. So that's what I'm saying. The word God, that comes from the Greek and the Roman. So when you read in the scriptures, you got to have the power of discernment to know When it
Well,
says God, is we speaking of the Most High? Is we speaking of a messenger? Is we speaking of Satan? Are we speaking of a king? Are we speaking of judges?
okay, so now we go back to this. Now, do we say, is the Bible the Word of God?
No, it's inspired. It's inspired.
Inspired by who?
Inspired. Right.
God inspired it to who?
To the people who wrote the books.
Not Jesus. Not
To the
Jesus.
prophets.
Not Jesus. Because Jesus was
was
not alive when this Bible was put together.
Why did they kill Jesus?
Well, Muhammad wasn't alive when the Quran was put together.
Quran was finished.
Quran was
So
done.
Quran
you
was
telling
finished.
me
Listen,
Muhammad
listen.
wrote the Quran himself?
Let me
Why
tell you
did they
something.
kill Jesus?
And I just told Mac me in the beginning of this program. You know anything about rap?
About what?
You know how to flow like the blood of the murder scene?
Yeah.
All right. When you write those lyrics in your studio,
Mm-hmm.
you memorize them. Your boys be like, yo, those are tight. Yo, those are weak. Yo, those are whack.
Right.
But when you get it together and you got your song and you got your hook, you memorize it.
Mm-hmm.
You put that shit in the studio, you go to make a CD.
Right.
All right, you got that song, it's on the radio. 97 Hot 97.
Right.
All right. Now you're gonna go make a concert.
Mm-hmm.
He froze up. Hold on for a second. Cheat memes. Who's that?
Yo, what up?
Salute.
NYC.
Salute.
Yeah, what's up? What you want to say?
I'm listening. I'm going to build in a minute.
Oh God. Islam is froze up. Mass salute. I see
Yo,
you back.
salute.
Hello,
Man.
you follow me? You follow me, King Charles?
Yeah, I
Salute
didn't
to
hear you.
everybody
Had
on
froze
here,
up.
Okay, I'm
Peace,
saying.
peace.
Okay, so when you go do a concert now.
Uh-huh.
You got your song. It's tied on CD. You got to blow up.
Right.
You change the words, people gonna know. They're gonna say, yo, that's not the song. So the same thing with the Quran. When the Quran came out of his mouth, Prophet Muhammad memorized it. When he memorized it, he taught it to his companions. His companions memorized it. So if I try to change the words on it, be like, yo, that's not it. But this is on a whole nother level.
Right.
This is on a whole spiritual level. You know, you just rapping songs, talking shit about the street. This is on a whole spiritual level. You know, you talk about a man that changed belief of half the world. He was a father, he was a general, he was a statesman, he was a warrior, he was 100 things a man.
But that don't mean he was right.
Well, you got to look at the example of the people that follow him.
But was he a Muslim or a Christian?
He was Muslim, of course.
But then that's
So
wrong.
Even Jesus was Muslim. Even Jesus was Muslim.
No,
Jesus was Muslim?
Jesus
Wait a
did
minute.
not have
Do you know what Muslim means? Do you know what Muslim means?
What?
Jesus
Peace?
didn't have a
I mean, a
religion.
dog is a Muslim. A cat or a pig is a Muslim. You know what Muslim means?
What?
One that submit.
One who submits to God.
Okay.
You know,
Don't submit to God.
the moon is a Muslim because it has to go the rotation. Because it has to.
So wasn't they called Mohammedans?
Is that a good
before
thing
they
or a
was
bad
Well, I
thing?
mean, you know, it's
Nah.
you know, I don't know.
They're going to submit.
They've been bashing Muslims so hard, man. They done messed up the people, man.
Brother,
You ever
Islam,
heard the
it's not
Saracens?
it's not about bashing Muslims. No religion is right. If you could claim a religion, you are wrong. Jesus did not have a religion. God does not have a religion. The only thing that he really allowed us, that he really want us to do, is to be holy. Do the things that I did.
But that's what we. But look, let me just say something. Islam is not a religion. Islam is like a way of life. You know what I'm saying? And we follow that. What you're saying. What you're saying is do the right things.
Yes.
But
That's
now
a good way to
let's
say it.
hold up a second. Let's just
That's a
keep
good
it
way to
real,
say
right?
it.
Let's keep it real. If Islam is saying if we're the religion that submits to God, right? It's a religion of peace, right? A Muslim is one who submits to God, and Islam is the religion of peace. and we could address the prophets, whether we think that they, you know, like we address the other religions with respect. Why do people feel like they gotta attack the Muslims? Why do they feel they gotta attack Muhammad? Why do they feel like, you know, like we not disrespecting?
Because they ain't got nothing better to do. That's why.
Right. People attack Christians
You
all
know
the
what I'm
time.
saying?
Yeah, I can't speak
That's
on
the way the world
Somebody
works.
that attacks a Christian is
You know what I mean?
just as much of a clown
America.
as a nigga.
Yeah,
If a
so you
nigga
can't put that energy in
attacks Christians or Christianity, he's as much of a clown as a nigga that attack a Muslim. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
But when you say Christianity, that's a religion. Like when you say Christian, that just means followers of Christ, of his teachings. So when they used to call Muslims Mohammedans, that just means the people who follow the path of Muhammad.
That's
Do
the
you-
British. The British
Do you
started
do you,
that.
do you think
Well,
do you
right.
think an empathetic man? Do you
And
think an
all of that
empathetic man
will
is gonna
confuse the people.
diss somebody?
Nope.
What?
empathetic man, probably not. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Now, but you know what's so crazy though? Within Muslims, Christians, and all that, if we was to get into following the examples of the people, see, I think that this is why
Facts.
we have prophets. The prophets was the best amongst us. If you look at the Prophet Muhammad, outside of this bullshit they be talking about, why would the richest woman, you know what I'm saying, and of his time,
You the
want to
prophet
marry-
right now, Matt.
Nah, I'm not a prophet.
Yeah, right now. Yeah. I feel it.
Hell
Out.
no,
2023,
no.
baby. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Because you making this bill happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can't. We see what us. We don't even try to associate ourselves. See, that's why when, you know what I'm saying, like prophets and stuff, because we feel that Muhammad was the last of the prophets. The Islam. I mean, why can't anybody find the contradiction in Islam? There's even misprints in the Bible. There's parts of the Bible where it says "Thou shalt sin." You feel me?
Right. But
Where
if you,
at that?
it's like you told me you have to when you read the Quran in English, you have to also read it in Arabic. So it's gonna be if you read the Quran in English and it's written in English, it's gonna be contradictions and all of that because it was written in English.
I think if I can build on what Lonnie said earlier, because like now I'm a new fan. You know, when she was speaking earlier, she was talking about like she went to church and it's spoken in tongues, right?
Mhm.
So you don't truly get to like understand. They're just brandishing it with you, right? So now it's the same thing. You know, like you just got to open your mind. You know, what I mean, why even have this argument if you true to yourself and the people? If you a humanitarian, empathetic man or woman, why we even have it? But
Well, you
we
know
build
something?
it. We build it. But you know what I'm saying?
Let me
We
just
talking
say this.
about
Let
something, but I know at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's like
let me reply to
like
what
when
you're
they
saying.
talk about 1 second, please. When they talk about in college or whatever or school, they want to teach race theory. That's a bunch of bullshit. You know what? All you got to do is let the kids go out and play.
Ooh.
That's all. So that all ties into the Bible. It ties in. Like the job I was at, you know, like I was over there and these people hitting me. Jewish lady, 81 years old, hitting me. And I'm doing my thing. And I'm taking it thinking like there's something better down the line. But then they hired like 2 cleaners. But I've been cleaning also, you know what I mean? But I'm supposed to be doing some other shit. But whatever. So now I seen the way she treated them, and they people of color also. It's like that hit me harder than even when she was hitting me. You know what I'm saying?
Or
So
you feel
now,
like- you feel like they
what's
biased?
Moses gonna tell me when I'm in that situation? Nothing.
What?
So we got to have a balance of, you know, you could read the Bible, whatever Bible it is. They're all connected in a certain way. But at the end of the day, either you're born a cycle or something happened to you, and shit gonna go that way. And that's it. You know, all this, all this extra shit. You know,
One
but
thing that you said that when you said, "Are you an empathetic person?" I'm gonna stop right there because all the rest of the stuff kind of confused me. But I'm gonna take it from, "Are you an empathetic person?" Now, I think that Mass said this earlier. Or
you're gonna
maybe
teach a man how to fish, or you're gonna or
Hold
you're
up,
gonna
hold up a
fish for
second.
him?
Listen, Mask or Solid Souls has said something right before you said what you said about are you an empathetic man?
All right.
One of them said that I think that God ultimately wants to, you know what I'm saying? Like basically wants you to do the right thing. The gist of
Well, hold on one sec. What
hold up, let me finish.
Salam said earlier, kind of
Let,
like
let
bugged
me
me out.
finish.
He
Let me
talked
land
about
this
like
point.
Christ cried
Let
because
me land this
he was
point.
getting beaten.
Yeah, because I'm getting
But he,
lost. I'm getting lost. Yeah,
Right?
I'm
Let me
getting
land this
lost.
point. I'm gonna bring you back up, Chi Chi. Give me a second. He was saying that it's about being a good person, and I feel like that's like what most organized religion. That's the gist of what's going on. The fanatics get caught up in the intricacies, but I think that the people that really get the gist of what's going on is saying to be a good person. So I will agree with that. And that first part that brother was talking about, I agree with it. Everything else, I don't know. I don't understand exactly where you was going with it, but it is my show, and I don't like being over talked, to be blunt about it. You know what I'm saying? I like talking a lot, unless I know you and I just shut the fuck up because you know what I mean. Like if King Troll's talking, and or Islam or Solid Souls, I know them. I'm just meeting Mask, and I'm just meeting you. So I'm just letting you know. Please don't over talk me. I'll let you. When you said that you wanted to land your point, I'll let you land your point. And the floor is Islam. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hold on. You want to refresh the room because we going on 3 hour mark, and I do want to end this soon. And I also want to let y'all know that we do this on Wednesdays and Sundays. A lot of people don't know about this that we do. They know about most of the bullshit I do, but I think that this is the most fun I be having is talking about things that we could really build off of.
Word.
You know what
You
I'm
know,
saying?
I keep look, man. I said this before on my last one. I want to say something. I don't care what religion you are, you Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, whatever. If you're not a good human being, or you don't know how to be a good human being, then you're hiding behind religion.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
facts.
All right. I told Matt that the reason I want to do this, I used to be a 5%er. I used to be down with the nickels, and but the reason I want to do this is if people want to learn about Quran, I'm willing to teach verse by verse the whole Quran,
Right.
verse
That's
by
what's up.
verse. If you want to learn in Arabic, I teach it to you in Arabic. You want to learn in English, you learn in English. You want to learn in Spanish, I teach you in Spanish.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
See,
All right.
But
Yeah, my son
I'm one of the first Puerto Rican Muslims there is in Brooklyn. One of the first. I'm
Salute.
not saying the first. I'm saying one of the first.
Bless you.
Because there's a lot of Puerto Rican Muslims today. But I'm very serious and committed to doing this because I keep man. Let me tell you something. When I was in C-74 and I was up north, I enjoyed teaching Islam. I enjoyed teaching people Quran.
Salute,
I
Michael.
enjoyed it. I felt sad when I had to leave, man. Believe that shit. I had people who were sad that I was leaving too. You know what I'm saying? Because we have built this love and this brotherhood, man. Because this is what Islam brings. Out here in the streets, you can do whatever you want. When
Hey,
you
let
get
me ask
locked
you
down,
something.
you get locked down.
Why did you choose this? Why did you choose this topic though?
About the Quran,
Yeah.
I chose this topic because too many people say, don't read the Quran. It's just like the Bible. They don't even talk about Quran. They talk more about the Bible.
Nah, it means
So I'm like,
something.
you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, and I told back, I give the challenge. I give you challenge. Find them, study the Quran, bring it to me the way I just came, and I brought it to you. And I showed you about the some of the verses there. That's kind of X-rated. That's X-rated. I don't care how you cut it. I don't care how you cut it. If you take those words and you make a picture, it's graphic. It's graphic. So
Now,
that was the point that I wanted to make, and to let people know.
But sometimes you gotta slap people awake. Sometimes it gotta be raw like that. You gotta get it. No matter how I gotta give it to you to make sure you understand it. The point is you gotta understand it.
Yeah.
Nah.
I agree.
I don't think the Bible is
I
I don't think the Bible is a children's book.
It's a book of life. It's for everybody.
Well, I don't think. Well, I understand it's for everything, but as a
The
child,
Bible
I
is a
read
book
as a
of
child and I
situations.
understood as a child, but as a man, I
Look,
understood and read as a man.
as if I was a Christian and I had to read the Bible to my child, I would read them certain things. I would just read them certain things. I wouldn't read them
Right,
every.
Mac.
Word.
Not to cut you off, Mac. My
Word.
bad.
That would
But
be wrong. You ain't supposed to.
like I said, the Bible is for
But that's
situations.
bad though.
If I'm teaching my kid the
It's
Bible,
fucked
I'm
up.
gonna go to
That's
different. I'm gonna go to
fucked up,
different
right?
scriptures,
You gotta pick and choose like that.
different situations. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
You're not
yeah,
gonna read the Bible from beginning to the end. It don't mean nothing.
The
yeah,
Bible.
yeah.
Then that's when it doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm. You got to
Wow.
point out certain things. Pick your passage, pick your verse, pick your scripture, and explain.
Just tell your kids don't fuck with Satan.
You can't, but you can't do that with Quran. You can't skip.
That's it. Don't fuck with
can't
Satan,
skip.
y'all.
You read it from the front to the back. If you come up with something, let me know.
And you
skip
want to know
the
something?
Quran, you won't understand.
Even if y'all want, even if you want to question Muhammad, right? So Salaam, if you want to question the Prophet Muhammad, right? Okay, if he developed this book by himself and he was an illiterate man, right? Show me one contradiction because a nigga that couldn't read that develops his own religion supposedly, you feel me? You know what I mean? Like that's not divinely inspired. You surely going to be able to find one mistake, one something. You know what I mean?
Isn't that like Selassie?
No,
Well-
no Selassie Iman.
Well, what I'm saying is, the stuff inside the Quran is a
He
lot
said
of.
Selassie, Iman.
There's a lot of stuff in the
Mad
Quran.
lion.
There's a lot of stuff in the Quran that's from the Bible.
That's what you say.
Oh, that's what I say. Okay.
That's what you say.
Have you ever watched? Have you guys
Okay,
ever
we
watched
keeping it real, right? We keeping it real, right?
I said that's what you say.
Also, okay.
Farrakhan quotes from the.
My whole program today was rebut
Prophet
that.
Selassie.
You saying the Bible came? I mean, the Quran was given to Muhammad from Gabriel, right? The angel
That's right.
Gabriel.
That's right.
Right?
Let me tell you something.
So
the
before
Bible was not translated into Arabic until 200 years after Prophet Muhammad died. So how could he copy? How could he copy?
Because these stories existed before he was born.
Why you worried about that nigga?
The thing of the matter is
But
that
peace.
first came the Torah, or first came the Zabur, the book of David, then came the Torah, the book of Moses, then came the Injil, the book of Jesus, then came the Quran, the book of Muhammad, in that order.
Right. So you saying that he got these stories from where? These stories are already. All right. So these stories already existed.
But remember now, this was the challenge today. The stories you're saying, they're completely different. So if you want to say something, you could say not that the Quran is copied, but the Quran corrects.
Brother Islam, could I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, brother.
What does the Quran say about when you die?
About when we die?
Yeah.
When we die. Well, we stay in the grave until we're judged.
Yo, I could tell you what it feels to like. I could tell you, what it is to die.
Look, hold on. Could I asked Brother Islam? Can you?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
You stay in your grave until the day of judgment. So if you was a good person, the grave treats you nice. But if you was a bad person, it'll press your chest where you can't, where it'll be just very uncomfortable. So I'm like this here. I'm not gonna take a chance with my soul, because the soul is a terrible thing to lose. So if Allah says for me to be a good human being, to treat people good, to love my neighbor, to love my brothers, to teach, to have compassion for the orphan, and that if I do that, I get a good reward, then I'm gonna do it. I ain't got nothing to lose.
Word.
If I be a Grammy nigga and go out there and I get shot, and nobody gonna miss me, man.
Brother Islam, I'm glad you said that. You said that you want to play with your soul. You see,
I want next.
The difference in between what's happening to you in the Quran and what's happening to you in the Bible. See, God tells you won't die. You will not die. When you in your casket, you're just resting, you waiting for judgment. And you will your spirit will come back alive. You will come back, and you either going to spend it in heaven or you're going to spend it in hell. So that's why I'll stick with
no such thing as purgatory.
There is no playing with God. Either you gonna be with him or you gonna be in
There's
hell.
no middle ground.
I'm not gonna play with my soul, and
I don't play with myself. I'm either nice
I
or
ain't gonna
fucked
play with
up.
myself, and I ain't gonna take a chance with it.
Yeah.
So that's why I try to treat people right. I try to be straight up. You know what I'm saying? I've been Muslim 40-something years, man. I used to go to mosque right there in Atlantic and North Street. That's where I got all my training, right there on Atlantic and North Street in Bedford-Stuyvesant. That's where my teachers are from, right there.
I would love to ask Brother Islam something.
The best thing that happened to me, brother. I swear, I'll probably be dead or needle in my arm or doing 25 to life. You know the choices we got. You know the choices we got.
I know.
Yo, can I ask Brother Islam something?
Dale.
Okay. Okay. So, from your learnings and your teachings, right? You know, like we all get to a certain place. It's all about timing. These like certain mantras. I didn't have to look at the book. Like I developed it with me. I've learned that a lot of things that I say, other people have said already. It's been said, right? So, ain't no copyright, right? So, what I want to ask you is like something deep, and it's one thing that's deep with me because I have mad mantras. You know, I'm from New York. We make slang. So what I want to ask you is, with all your teachings and all your knowledge, I want to ask you a question, right? And if you can't answer it, or anybody else in the panel, please answer it. I'm gonna drop the gem on you, right? All right. And this is kind of like it's all gonna connect. You know what I mean? Like Will Smith and Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So all right, I'm gonna hit you with that. I'm gonna hit you. I'm not gonna say that schoolboy 5-year-old. All right. So check this out. Have you, with all your teachings, have you ever felt or thought, with everything you learned, what it feels like when you die or when you come into this world? Do you know how it feels? That's all I want to know. Like really, like short and quick. Do you know how it feels?
Let me say. Can I say something?
No, just like nah. Anyone that wants to answer, short and quick.
Have you ever taken DMT?
Nah, and I won't, because I did some shrooms and I heard get them niggas. I said nah, I ain't doing this shit again. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all know I'm King Troll, right?
All right.
Yo, King Troll is here.
But listen. Have any one of y'all and answer the question.
Can I answer the question?
Can you tell me how it feels to die? And I'm going to tell you.
Can I answer the question?
Please.
I got somebody that know what it feels like to die. Can you hit the panel for that person?
All right. I want to hear that. And then I'm going to tell you my answer.
So I got a question, right?
No. Let's.
I didn't mean death to be the topic.
All right. Go ahead. Somebody else want to answer his question? Go ahead.
It's all relevant.
Okay.
Islam. Have you ever heard? Do you know what it feels like to die in the aftermath? Do you know? Because I know.
I can't tell you because I haven't died yet.
All right, I'm going to tell you.
I'm sorry. I'll keep it real.
Okay, so why don't you tell us?
All right, the Kenny NYC one. The Kenny. All right, I'm going to drop a gem on y'all. The Kenny NYC 1 Rebel. C1. Kenny NYC 1. I see one. That's why I have C1. I see one. I see what the people are. Right? So I'm going to tell you what it feels like. All right, Islam. What? I mean, pardon me. Islam Salaam.
Yeah.
What year were you born?
60.
60?
You gonna tell us how it feel to die or not?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this.
Let's get to that.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming, bro.
It's
coming. Got my popcorn.
Does it feel like you up here making jokes like it's some type of joke?
Too much.
You talking too much.
Let's
get to that.
I'm
let's get to that. I want to see the finale before we go.
Yeah, let him finish.
Coming.
Go ahead, kid. Go ahead.
All right. Done. All right. So 1960, right?
60. Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right. Can you tell me a memory that you had when you were 3 years old?
Wow.
Yeah. Can you tell me a memory that you had when you were 5 years old?
Yeah. That sure could.
Can you tell me a memory that you had when you was 14?
Niggas, get to the point.
Can you tell me a memory from 1953?
Shaitan. What y'all say, Shaitan?
Islam, you let me know what's going on. This is your show today.
Can
1953,
you
no.
1953? No,
No, I
right?
can't,
So
no,
how
I
did it
can't.
feel in 1953? And that's exactly how it's going to feel when you're dead. Facts.
What?
That's Kenny. Hey, yo, listen. I want to say something, right? I remember some. What the fuck that got to do with? Yo, you know what? Let me get out of this. Let me mute my mic.
That was dumb.
Nah,
Because we over here trying to build. Your man over here. This is not Def Comedy Jam.
No, it's not that. It's real shit. That's
you
scriptures.
coming up here interrupting, and we trying to build. You making jokes and all.
So you didn't hear what I was telling you.
Because you babbling.
You
babbling.
That's
you from Babylon.
Now,
You from Babylon. You babbling.
Hold up for 1 second, brothers. Hold up a second. Let me say one thing before I give Islam the floor again, right? Big Slang Hope is in the building. Salute. Blackout, salute, bro. Kaz Bay is up in there dropping knowledge. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Andrea, salute. Michael, you know what I mean? Michael died and came back to life in real time. He's quadriplegic. So Michael is the best person that can answer that question. If he feels like come up here and tell you about that experience, then he can tell you what it feels like to die. I don't know what it feels like to be born or to die. Probably feel like sex. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bible says.
I was born in 1978. I can't tell you 1962.
Hold on. Let me hold on. Nah. That's just that's
It's blackout.
Listen, bro. Let me just finish saying what I'm saying, right? I forgot what I was saying.
Right, good job.
But Michael has that experience with death because Michael died and came back. It's some things that Michael's told me about his experience when he died that kind of changed a lot about my life, and it sticks with me to this day. He told me that story more than a year ago, and I think about that shit all the time because how graphic and detailed he was when he said what he said that he went to hell and he could tell you what the fuck he's seen some shit, right? Now I'm gonna tell you like this. This ain't the time to play or troll. You know what I'm saying? This is not my panel. This is Islam's panel tonight. TSTV, True Story TV. You got a great idea. That's including my brother Troll and the other brothers up here that I know. You know what I mean? Like if you want to present it to our crowd to push, you know what I'm saying? I always push people to troll. You know what I mean? Because
I wasn't trolling.
You know, a lot of people over here is trolled. They like trolling. So, you know, I point them, you know what I'm saying? If you want some quality troll shit, that's the way you go. But right now, that's not what we on. So, but I feel it was a very good question in light of what we're talking about. Because here it is, we talking about the contradictions, kind of wrapped it up. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's a legit question. You know what I mean? Like what the brothers Mass said, I think, about having a good heart. At the end of the day, I think that all religion is based on doing what's right. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I gotta say. Y'all get back to it.
I just want to say I respect to the brother Islam, respect to Mac Mean, but when I don't know if this is the brother who came on and when Mac was talking, he was like, let me talk, and then Mac quieted down, and then now when Mac was talking, you talking over him, you talking over people. It's disrespectful. We up here trying to build. Yeah, like, I'm King Troll. I troll the trolls. Let's get to that.
I took him down for now, but
I ain't come to bring peace. I came to bring the sword. You heard me?
And I mean, we appreciate the knives over here too. We love that knife shit. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, good question, but this ain't the time to be playing.
What about this brother Solid Souls? He haven't said nothing. He been quiet there for a while.
Solid Souls, that's my bro. What's up, Solid Souls? Salute. He got a channel too. He be out here doing the work of God. Solid Soul, salute. You come off your mic. It's good. I don't know. He probably making some chicken. I just went and got a can of Vienna sausages and a bunch of pineapple juice. That's when y'all don't hear me talking. I'm running and eating. That's all I do all days. Eat. You know what I'm saying?
I want to ask the brother. All right. So in the Quran it says the people of the book, right?
Yes.
What book are they referring to?
People of the book are the Christians and the Jews.
Right. Yeah. So this means this book existed before Muhammad.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Of course. Yes.
All right. So I think that the word of the Most High comes. It could come through the stars. It could come through a person. It could come through anything. And I'm not saying the Quran is right. The Bible is right. I know the Most High is right, and the Most High has a plan that we don't know what it is.
But I like to say it was nice having y'all brothers here, and I want to have. I'm dead serious about if you want to learn some Quran, you want to learn how to. This is how we do. We get together, we sit around, we get a Quran, we read a verse, and we talk about it.
Right.
And we try to get the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of that verse. Then we go to the next verse, we read it, and we put it together, the whole paragraph or the whole, and we come up with something. And the rules for Quran is read it, recite it, memorize it, understand it, and apply it.
Right.
This is how I teach. If I want to teach Quran to somebody, I want them to understand it and apply it.
Right.
So if we have like little, I maybe once a week, twice a week, I have a class. Everybody bring the Quran. You can be whatever you want to be, but for that day, you read Quran. You put your Bible back, put it in the side. But for that day, you got a Quran. Like you in Rikers Island, you go on Muslim services.
Right, and I respect that, but I think where it went wrong is just we could have just focused on the teachings of the Quran without comparing it, because then people's it's gonna turn people off. Like I feel like if you would have just said, we have a day where people can learn the Quran, I think people would be open to that no matter where they from.
Brother, I'm so sorry. You gotta forgive me. You know why? Because for the last so many years, Muslims would be on the defensive, man. We're on the defensive. Since 9/11, at least 10 million Muslims have been killed and displaced. But you never hear us crying, Muslim lives matter. You don't see us, because everybody knows what's going on in India. You know how they do the Muslims in India. They do them in China. America dropped 1 million tons of bombs on Iraq and Afghanistan.
Right.
The French, how they treat us. In Australia, in Europe, only place that's good to us is Africa.
Right.
If you Google the most common name in Africa, it's going to be Muhammad. And the fourth most common name, Muhammad spelled a different way.
Right.
This is how much Africa loves Muhammad.
And I hear that, but Christians has been around for a long time, and they got persecuted. Like people still we still battle. Like we all go through the same thing. And I think instead of putting it on Christians, Muslims, Jews, I think we need to put it on the people. Is the people. You know what I'm saying? Certain people they misrepresent the faith. So I think we need to focus on those people and not put it in like on all Muslims, all Christians, or because everybody don't feel or think the same.
You know how long Christianity been in America, brother?
Since the beginning.
How long, America?
Since the beginning.
When they came here,
they came in what, 1492?
Yeah, let's say
that's the Catholics.
250 years of brutal slavery.
Right.
100 years of Jim Crow laws.
Right.
And the continual abuse of African Americans here in America.
But those are not
Christians. About
Christians.
almost 500 years of a country that's considered to be a Christian country. America is considered 60 to 70% of the people living in America consider themselves to be Christian.
Right.
Babylon.
And when you see those Ku Klux Klan and the Johnny Rebels and
Those
all that
are
stuff,
Christians.
Those are not Christians.
They consider themselves to be good Christians.
Right, but you also have Muslims who still practice slavery to this day, human trafficking to this day.
You have to show me, son.
Well, if you go to Libya,
what happened to Libya? Who put Libya in that situation?
So you saying it's not Muslim?
Who killed Gaddafi?
One of the Muslim.
You telling me Muslims didn't have?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not
didn't
saying
have Slavs and.
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say Muslims.
But this is and this they didn't have Slavs, the Slavic people.
I'm not saying they didn't have slaves.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. Those people are wicked. Those people are not. In the Bible, it says people is gonna be led by false prophets and false Christ. So if you follow a false Christ, you'll call yourself a Christian, but you're not a real Christian because you can only serve one master. So if you got slaves and all that, you're not a real Christian.
But look, Muslims just had some type of plague thing that happened over there on they big monument when they all went to meet or something like that. So
I'm just saying we need to focus on wicked people. Like Muslim, I think the teachings are like you said, it has been corrupted. All teachings are corrupted by corrupted people who are corrupted, the wicked. So I think we need to focus, because you got to remember, my people, the people who you call slaves and all that, they were Christians. Some people in Africa, Ethiopia, these people were Christians for a long time. You see what I'm saying? But it's the people who are claiming to be Christians or who are following false prophets or false Christ. So those are the people we need to focus on, instead of just blanketing it and saying, "Oh, those people were Christians who enslaved people," and things of that nature. Because some of the people who were slaves were Christians also.
You know, we were younger.
Let me show you something. There was the people of color, right? I feel like historically, everybody now had slaves, including black people. The reason why I say that is because I used to read, when I was up north, I read every Anne Rice book you can have. I mean, the vampire books, the witches and all that. And a lot of those books, like the last stat books, the Queen of the Damned and all that, it took place in the, like slavery time, during slavery in the South, in particular in New Orleans, right? Now, what happened was one of the first places, Vic Slang Hope is in the back. He's about to pull up, right? Mm-hmm. And I would like to mention where he's from. In his country, in Central America, in Central America, South America, there was a revolt back in the days. You know what I'm saying? One of the big revolts was in Haiti, which you had a lot of those people. The first big revolt of those who ended up in New Orleans, right?
Right.
And the people where Vic Slang Hope is from, those people end up, and correct me if I'm wrong, bring the brother up, right? His people is called the Garifuna. And the Garifuna, those people were they were African American. I mean, they were African people that revolted on, I think it was, it wasn't on Haiti. I think it was the
St. Vincent.
St. Vincent. And then they, ended up like in Honduras, Belize, not Belize.
Yeah, Belize, Honduras, Guatemala, and Nicaragua.
And Nicaragua, you know what I'm saying? And those people are the Garifuna are the black or Afro-Carib, you know what I'm saying, descendants, right? And they carry, black. Now the ones that landed in America, the people of the color, they were called the free people of color. And guess what? They had slaves too, but the difference between like the Muslim slaves and black slaves was that what they considered slavery, a lot of times, not to say that there wasn't slavery outright, but this was like voluntary slavery. This was like
indentured servitude.
Yeah, exactly. Like you too poor to take care of yourself, so you get up under somebody's wing.
Right. And I understand that. My fault.
I'm gonna just land this point. I'm gonna give it to you, right? The reason why I know about this and what made me actually go study is because I was reading fiction books that were loosely like putting the truth in there. And the reason why I know about the history of the Garifuna is because I was married to a Garifuna woman, and she was a part of this thing called Garifuna heritage. You know what I mean? It was a society that was based off of teaching the people their history and preserving their Nagu, like the language and stuff like that originated with the Garifuna. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that black people own slaves too. At some point in history, a lot of us had slaves, but we talking about slavery, like how it's presented itself in America was nasty when it came down to them Bible thumping and throwing and feeding our babies to gators and shit like that. That was a different type of slavery than the stuff that was carried out with the Muslims.
Right. No, I understand that. Because a lot of people say, you know, other people were enslaved and all that, but that's bondage. I get that, and what we went through as, you know, black people, that's called chattel slavery. That has never happened in history, only to us. But what I'm saying is, those people who you're saying, those people are not Christians, because you got to remember, the black people was Christians before the so-called white people was Christian.
So let me ask a question.
They was converted to Christianity.
Let me ask a question to everybody. All right, let's paint this picture. We're in Africa. We're coming here. However we got here, whether it was St. Vincent, whether it was one of the other islands. I'm from St. Martin. Whether it was from Haiti, Dominican Republic, wherever it was from, right? What religion or what way of life do you think that they had coming over here? Because we have to acknowledge the fact that they didn't go all the way to Egypt and enslave people and come to the West Coast, and then, you know what I mean? They didn't import these niggas from back there. You know what I mean?
From Ethiopia, man.
I would say they were Catholics, because you got to remember the Crusades. When the Catholics did the Crusades,
think about the color of the people. What was the color and what was
the European Catholics, the Catholics, when they did the Crusades and they went, they was also persecuting non-Catholics, which was Christians, and Eastern Christians. You know, Syria. You ever heard of Syrian Christians?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Syrian Christians and Muslims was living in peace.
You know, Aki, let me tell you something, please. Let me interject real quick, because
sure.
I done my DNA.
Right.
I'm from Puerto Rico. And I done my DNA. And my DNA have 25% African.
Right.
And my family, my roots go to Togo, which is West Africa.
Right.
Okay. If you go to West Africa, Senegal, you got Togo, you got Ghana, you got all these on the south, on the west coast of Africa, which is closer to America than Egypt or Ethiopia.
You also have
Ethiopia, it's all the way up northeast. It's in the northeast of Africa. So the slave traders now wasn't going to ride all the way up there to bring slaves.
Right.
So they brought the slaves from the west part. And all predominantly, historically, all these are Muslim countries. Okay, we don't have to go back 2,000 years. We could just go back 800 years.
Right.
And a lot of people say that the Muslims came through Africa ravishing and raping and pillaging and killing and taking shit over. The truth of the matter is that Mecca is a very small place.
Right.
There's not a lot of, it's probably more Africans in Africa than there is sand in Mecca.
Right.
So, but when the Muslims came, they were invited, and they were accepted, and they mixed with the African people. This is how Islam come to Africa. A lot of people want to give you this. They want to keep the black people away from Islam. Anything, but don't let the black people accept Islam. Let them be Jewish, black Hebrews. Let them be Christians. Let them be Egyptian. What they call those Comedics. Let them be all that, but keep them away from Islam. But even though the Islam is the one that's the true way they came from.
You ever heard of the Saracen? You ever heard of the Saracen?
Now hold up, let's take it from Saracens. The floor is yours, King Cho. Let me read this real quick. Then this is to beat that dead horse that I was just telling you about the black people, which I find the most interesting because you know, like it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that some other race will fucking enslave us and feed our fucking babies to alligators and rape our women and just do us terrible. I was actually, not to take the spotlight, but yeah, I was thinking at one point that to do a movie that was like Django, Y'all remember the movie Django?
Django, Jimmy
Yeah,
Fox.
the Django. I wanna make a graphic depiction, as graphic and niggerish as that was, right? And I wanna make white people the slaves. So you know what I mean? But the only thing in this Django, the white man gonna die. You know what I'm saying?
I'm dead.
No, the hero, because you gotta think, if we doing it reverse, Django will be like Jingle or Christopher Reeves or one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He would be the hero, and we would be doing the same shit that they did to us, but just the black people running shit. We spitting out tobacco and
Samuel
all that.
Jackson. Samuel Jackson be the slave master.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson is the slave man. Yup, shit like that.
It's like Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, we'll reverse it, right? And we'll make the white people this, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm digressing.
Well, y'all,
I
y'all,
would say, let me say what I'm saying, right? And let me give it to King Troll, and then we're gonna bring Disco in.
Yo, hold on. Before y'all do that, I just want to say good night to you fellas. Mac Mean, thank you for having me on.
Salute, blessings.
Who's this? Who's this? Who's leaving?
Master Rod, I'm out of here.
That's
Okay.
mad.
Homeboy, peace out, man.
Yeah, I hope to catch y'all this Wednesday.
Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah. Right now, before the revolution, bro, and the reason why I wanted to say that it's so interesting is because, like me, from reading these dozens of books by these fiction authors, right? I start digging into the history of how we got here, and that's why I asked y'all, what religion or way of life do y'all think we carried? Because it's, historically, we know that getting to the other side of Africa is think about traveling from one side of America to the other side. Bruh, just to take an airplane, it takes you about six hours to get to LA from New York. Right. So imagine how long you will be traveling across Africa. Them niggas was got from the West Africa. You know what I'm saying? Now I think in my mind, how the fuck did they get them? Number one, okay, obviously we sold ourselves out. What was our religions? Because it wasn't like they was just going all over anywhere, just randomly grabbing people and bringing them to Haiti. You know what I'm saying? Right. It was a fucking demographic involved with that at first. So what religion did they have when they came from West Africa? You know what I'm saying? And the free people, how did they become free? They didn't just come straight to America, goofies. I thought by looking at listening to them books and shit that they gave us in these schools, that they just, Christopher Columbus, Nina Santa Maria and Pinta, you know what I'm saying, came from all the way with it. No, man, it was a nasty trip, number one. So imagine how it was for us. But it says here, before the revolution broke out in the modern day Haiti in 1789, there were at least 4 distinct types of people living in Saint Dominique: the whites, the black slaves, the maroons, and the free people of color. Right.
Right.
There were approximately 25,000 people of color in 1789. Roughly half of them were born of Frenchmen and slave women. There were similar populations of Martinique and Guadeloupe. You know what I'm saying? So I did want to point out that our slavery, so-called slavery, you got to think, you got to take this with a grain of salt. Or what Troll said earlier, discernment. You have to have a certain amount of discernment when you start speaking about slavery, I think, because our terminology of slavery is a little bit different than how it played out for Americans. When you tell me slavery, I think about the pictures I was shown of our people violated, especially the women. And then that Jim Crow shit. Think about the movie. I'm telling y'all, man, Django. You seen what happened? What they was doing? They was feeding niggas to dogs. They was making these niggas fight each other for money to the death.
Yeah, that's called chattel. That's called chattel slavery.
They still do that today.
Man.
Well,
hey, look at this. I remember a movie called Bamboozled. This is where I learned how. I mean, I take what I do in particular, y'all, is a combination of a lot of things, but it does have something to do, like my entertainment thing. Like if y'all see me entertaining, now 9 out of 10 times it came from some movie or something that I seen that was foul. Like my mother made us watch Education of Sonny Carson. Me and my best friend, man, was in the house crying. You feel me? Like crying, looking at the Education of Sonny Carson. It hit a little bit different. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we was when I think about slavery, when I think about when I think about what I know, how it played out in America, and I think about how it looks in Islam, completely different. It's just like the free people of color that took slaves on. That some of them were so rich that they took on 1,000 people just to make, like, niggas was having, but like literally like online waiting for somebody to die off so they could go to certain plantations because they heard how good they treated their slaves. You know what I'm saying? The slaves were just as free as they were. You know what I mean? Able to do a lot of things that you know what I mean? Before Black Wall Street, they had the Susus. You know what I'm saying? They had shit like that. Like, and Hondurans and with Hondurans, Vic, you probably could speak about this. The Susu is very popular. You know what I mean? A lot of that Susu saved me and my ex-wife life a lot of times when that money came through for the Susu. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we had
Yeah.
our banking systems. We had that, and a lot of things that we carried over through the free people of color. But what was our religion? Was our religion voodoo? What was it?
Well,
What?
well, it was different
I can
things.
answer that. Go ahead,
You
brother.
could you could hear me.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gave you. We gave you.
It was Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It was different things, right? Like even first off, before black, there was African people here before European people got here.
Right.
That's one, right? Um, there's documentation, right? Even Columbus said it himself, right?
Right.
That when he arrived, he seen dark skinned people, right? Some of these people, even some of the things that they talk about they seen was like these spears with like gold tips,
Right.
right? They came from like West Africa. There's also documented that King Abu Bakr, which was the brother of Mansa Musa, sent a voyage of about like 250 to 300 ships just to see what was out there. Um, and only one ship came back. So a lot of people actually stayed, right? And even before that, the Olmecs, and so indigenous, I mean, so African people been traveling, right? That's one. Um, so some of the people that were here were Muslim, um, right? And then some other people practice other things. Even like when you look into um the papal bull, right, which is, so, and this is like just getting all over the place, right? But the Pope issued a decree that Christians had the right to persecute non-Christians and to commit them to perpetual servitude. This was in 1453 that he signed this, right? And the first country to leave Europe on this mission was Portugal, right? That's why Brazil is one of like the biggest colonies, right? It was actually bigger than colonies in North America and in what we call America today, United States. Um, but anyway, the point I was trying to say is that they consider Africa like the pagan continent kind of thing, right? Because they believed in a lot of like other spiritual, and even my people, right? I think that they claim they're in contact with the dead, but I think they really in contact with the jinns, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Um, so a lot of people were practicing like what we call voodoo, hoodoo, a lot of different things, right? But some of the people that were here that were enslaved were Muslim, right? And I believe even even before enslavement, some of the people that came here were Muslim.
Think about it like this: the whole West
Well, then
Africa,
I got a
the
question.
whole West Africa is Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole damn near the whole West Africa is Muslim. Go ahead, Disco.
Yeah, all right. So are we talking about within like, and I don't want to use the word primitive, but are we talking about like before slavery or after slavery?
1789. I'm talking
We
about.
talking about 1789. So all right, the Haitians got their independence in 1804. So how many years is that difference? We good in math here? 1789. That's boom. What's that? 27 years?
Nah, 15.
15. Okay, all right. So all right. So we right around there. If we talking about 1789. So I prior to that, like way prior to that, there were a lot of tribal type of rituals that were praising their gods, and then I want to say like documentation came into place, and that's where it's like formatted out, and now everybody's following a certain type of guideline, and you start separating shit. But if you really look at it from way back then, when you look at dances and you take the island of Hispaniola, which was the whole Dominican Republic and Haiti combined, and you have those natives from the Eki tribe and all of that, and then you introduce something new to that, and then those natives are being enslaved, as well as Africans coming in that are enslaved with a European like overseer. A lot of things can get misconstrued as far as the Caribbean islands, and when you go into North America is like way after, if you ask me. When I look at like ADOS and people who they say like they only recognize slavery from certain years, I'm like, y'all don't even understand the history. Like, they'll cut it off year by year, decade by decade, and nothing that happens before even matters. So I hope that makes sense.
Well, you know, chattel slavery didn't start to 1776, 1775. But my people come from the Maroons, which you call over here in North America, the Seminole. And before the English came, it was called Spanish Florida. My people was from South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Florida. It was called, the Spanish came first. It was called Spanish Florida, and they were freedmen before they were recolonized by the British. But I just want to say, as far as the Saracens, were called Arabs, and they were black people. So when, a lot of times when people just refer to black people as African or things of that nature, but it was black people all over the world before the construct of what you call white people as a race.
I mean, the same thing applies to black though, because black wasn't really a thing.
Well, he said black wasn't what?
I said the whole concept of black and white came around the same time.
Well, you got to remember that black, Negro, means black, right? So the root word that comes from is shining, is the same root as white, is the same root as brown, is the same, like that's the same word. But when it got translated into English, what they did was the word swarthy, that means dark, and the word Negro, which means shining, they put that together. You feel what I'm saying? So when you say black people, it doesn't have to do with our skin color. That just means Negro. But when it got,
I always wonder. Oh, my bad. I ain't mean. Well,
nah, it's all good.
Got it, bro.
Nah, so when you say swarthy, that means dark skin. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I'm saying people was not. Go ahead, bro.
Hello.
It says the Haitian Revolution, series of conflicts between 1791 and 1804 between Haitian slaves, colonists. Let's go back, right? The Spanish began to enslave the native Taino and Chibouini people soon after December 1492, when Italian navigator Christopher Columbus sighted the island that he called, which Disco Dave just mentioned, Isla Española, the Spanish island.
Española, the island, yeah.
Later italicized as Hispaniola, the island's indigenous population forced to mine for gold. So basically, they got over there, and the people that was already there, instead of getting them their bag and making trades and shit like that, they enslaved them. You know what I'm saying? And made them mine for gold. It was devastated by the European diseases and brutal working conditions. And by the end of the 16th century, the people had virtually vanished. Thousands of slaves imported from the Caribbean islands met the same fate. After the main gold mines were exhausted, the Spanish was succeeded by the French, who established their own permanent settlements. Now the country's all fucked up. The French comes in, and now They established their own permanent settlements, including Port de Paix, 1665 in the Northwest and the French West Indies. Corporation took control of the area. Landowners, so in 1665, the French take over. Landowners in Western Hispaniola imported increasing numbers of African slaves, who totaled about 5,000 in the late 17th century. By 1789, that year that we were talking about, on the eve of the French Revolution, the estimated population of Saint Dominique, as the French called the colony, was 556,000 now, which included roughly 500,000 African slaves, 32,000 European colonists, and 24,000 affranchises. Those were like the mulatto people, the free mulattoes, or the people of mixed African and European descent, right? Or blacks. Haitian society was deeply fragmented by skin color, class, and gender. The affranchises, basically those mulattoes, most of them mulattoes were sometimes slave owners themselves and aspired to the economic and social levels of the Europeans. They filled and spurned the slave majority, but were generally discriminated against by the white European colonists who were merchants, landowners, overseers. Now, all those movies y'all see where y'all see black people that not being slave and you see other people being slave, they never tell you what that is, but that's really what it was.
Well, that also comes from the white man or the white woman being impregnated by a black man, or a white man impregnating a black woman, and those children get somewhat, you call it a pass.
Right.
That's just what that is. But also, I just wanted to interject real quick when you were talking about when the French came in. The French actually came in for the Haitian, because the whole island holds a great fine grade of coffee bean and sugar cane and spices. So not only did they just drain the island initially of all of its natural minerals, when the French came in, they said, "Oh, Portuguese wasn't doing it the right way. We have to utilize the natural resources of it." So if you realize, the best coffee beans come from over there. Like is either Colombia or Haiti. Sugar cane, you're not getting it from, you're getting it from Haiti or Dominican Republic. That's where it's going to grow rich, certain spices and things like that. And that's why France started coming over there, because they basically did a new re-up when they came and saw how these other motherfuckers fucked up the slave trade. It's still a bag, like in one way or another. Like that's how they looked at it.
And it was when Columbus came, he had Muslim navigators too. So because you got to remember, Spain was ruled for 700 years by the Moors. So a lot of those people that we call mulattoes or things of that nature, when they came over, that's what you had free blacks, you had
by Muslims, not Moors.
You said what?
I said by Muslims, not Moors.
The Muslims of Spain. The Muslims of Spain.
Meaning
yeah,
that
he's probably talking about Italy. Are you talking about Italy when you say the Moors in Sicily?
No,
the Saracens. The Saracens ruled over Spain for 700 years.
The Moors. So what happened is, Moors is a name that European people gave to the Muslims that invaded Spain, right? Like you hear a lot of misconceptions of some black folks saying Moor means black. It doesn't, right? So when Spain was invaded, it was by the Caliph, the Umayyad dynasty, right? You could read about them. So at this point, the Muslim world had expanded all the way from the Arabian Peninsula all the way to like it already swallowed up the Persian Empire, what is known as and the other lands that are known as Afghanistan. Like, so it had a lot of different cultures and people into it. So the Berbers, which are a group of people, indigenous folk, Amazingi is also their name, right? They came from the region of like where's modern day Mauritania, right? So when they went into Spain, it was a mixture of people, right? It was some dark people, it was some Arab people, it was just a mixture of people. Even the commander of them. So the general name was Tariq ibn Ziyad, right? And he was, I don't know of what complexion he was. But I think the way we talk about history, like we the ones that are so fixated on skin complexion and race. A lot of those people back then, they were not even talking about I'm white, you black. Like it wasn't even like a thing. You get
Right.
what I'm saying? Even though there was maybe some type of colorism, right?
Right.
At the same time, the white monarchs used to respect the black monarchs, right? There was still kind of like this mutual respect of kingship, of rulership. So yeah, so I wanted to clear that up. Like when the Muslim armies went into Spain, it was a mixture. You get what I'm saying? Then after the Muslims started fighting each other in Spain, yeah, a lot of different things happened, so but it was a mixture of folks that were Muslim.
What? All right. Before they was called Muslim, they were called Saracen, and Saracen are dark skinned people, what you call blackamoors.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know too much.
Well, if you read up on the Saracens, that's what they
they
say. If you read up on the Saracens, they'll tell you that they were dark skinned people.
But they, like the brother said, they were mixed. They were Arabs and Africans together, and it was actually called Muslim Spain, and they had it for 800 years until the Christians took over, and they did a thing called the Spanish Inquisition,
right?
Where they forced you to either change your religion or don't practice your religion. This is called the Spanish Inquisition. This is when all the really bad things started happening. I heard y'all talk a lot about the African trade and everything.
Right.
But brothers, don't ever forget, the Belgium killed 10 million Africans in Congo.
Right. It was like 15.
You know what I'm saying? They killed 10 million or 15 million. And not only that, they were in different parts. What they would do, they would have slave quarters and build churches on top of the slave quarters. This is in Africa. They would cut the hands off. They would cut the hands off the Africans to don't waste the bullet.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is when when you say Arabs and Africans, that doesn't have to do with color.
No, I mean, people like the brother said, we're too much caught up on color, man.
Right. But what I'm saying is, black. If you want to say black people was here like before Columbus and all of that, the indigenous people of the planet were dark-skinned people or black people everywhere in Europe and Asia.
Once upon a time, all the continents was one.
Right. So, but what I'm saying, that's when people say, all right, if you ever heard of the Negritos of Southeast Asia.
Yeah, I got some Negritos in my family. What are you talking about?
All right. So now I'm not saying what I'm talking. I'm just saying the people who they say that are the natives of Southeast Asia, they are the Negritos been there longer than them.
That's the
Philippines. So what I'm saying when you come to America, it was Negritos mean little Negroes. So it was Negroes everywhere already before the Europeans or the so-called white Europeans came to anywhere.
That's a term that's kind of set by the white man, though.
I'm not saying that. I know
the term like when you say the Negrito, that's not necessarily like what the tribe is called.
But when you look at them, right, what they look like.
They don't see, and that's racism in itself, because it's like, yo, what they look like. Like, no, that's not race.
That's not racism. I'm just saying.
No. I hear what you're saying, but the way it's depicted, that's what it is. It's like, all right, we're just gonna call. They come from this way. If you take the Sentinelese Islands outside of India, right? They're a secluded island. They're 200 miles right off the coast. Can't nobody go over there. You can't even fly your boat over there because it's so indigenous that if we were to land on their sand, we could infect them because they don't have the vaccinations that we have, right? and that exists till this day.
So
But
they be killing people too.
they off
Yeah.
the coast of India,
Right.
200 miles. They look like African, dark.
That's what I'm trying to tell
And
you.
you go into India, and it's India. It look like, you know,
That's
more
what I'm
of a different
saying.
type of complexion right there.
That's what I'm saying. So I think when people say just because these people are black or they African, what I'm saying is these people was already there before the people who they call the natives or the native Indian. These people was there thousands of years before.
Yeah, you're right. I
in
got
America and Europe, everywhere. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you saying the same thing? Yeah. I was saying the same thing you were saying. Yeah, that's a fact.
But being from Africa doesn't necessarily mean you have dark pigmentation.
Right.
It don't. No.
And I think that's the problem with a lot of folks, right? Because it's like you can make anybody of any complexion, right? You got people in that continent who got a red skin, right? You got people who got yellow skin. You got people who got purple skin. You got people who got all type of different pigmentations. And I think a lot of times we get caught up in, well, the darker people were there before, and it's like, do we like forget that you know that these genes can produce any complexion, right? And you know, and when you look at the story of creation from an Islamic perspective, right, it says that when you look at the tafsir of at-Tabari, when the angel was commanded to get the dirt to create Adam, right, God commanded the angel to pick up different shades of mud, right? So he grabbed yellow mud, white mud, red mud, purple mud, all different shades, right? And all different textures of mud, fine mud, tough mud, right? In the Quran, there's a passage that says, "In the difference of your colors and your languages, there is a sign for you," right? So some of the scholars say that we get our complexions from the different shades of mud that was grabbed. Now, a lot of times, of course, when you mix a whole bunch of different colors, it makes something dark. Right. But we get so caught up in that, right? Because we're so anal about race today, right? Because of the Europeans, right? We're so anal about it that some people even forget, like, any color could come out of this.
Right.
Because of our genetic makeup.
But what was the original color is the question.
There's no such thing as an original color.
So doesn't Adam mean black?
No. I don't know in what language Adam means black.
Okay, that's what the brother told. That's what the brother told me. Islam told me.
What in what language does Adam mean black?
Brother Islam, are you still there?
In Arabic.
What's so funny. I don't know what's so funny. That's
in Arabic. I listened to a sheikh saying it. Let me see if I can find it.
I know.
I was gonna say, do y'all ever think that, like, the way the globe is set up and where the most fruitful parts come from are more towards the equator, and those certain areas are going to be more of a darker complexion, and it's more fruitful there, and everything is going to actually grow there. If you go further north or further south, you're not really going to have that, and you're forced to have that pigmentation to live within the environment. So when you speak of Allah, I mean, I think that everything is placed in certain places for a reason. And if the majority and the abundance and the strong and the strength is coming from one area, it's no different from planting a seed in a particular area of your garden.
Me personally, I don't believe. I believe it's one race.
A little bit of kind of
no, I understand what you said.
I don't want to say Pangea and supercontinents and all that and get into all that, but if I look at where the majority of the people would have prospered at the primitive state of mind in the beginning, then I can see them having a darker shade of skin and living more towards the equator and, like, you know, fruitful, like oranges, like everything is growing healthy in that within that region. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I think that you know, it's been proven that black people can have blonde hair, blue-eyed, white babies, can have babies that look like any so-called ethnicity. I don't believe in different races, and I'm not stuck on a race thing. I just, you know, if you study, that's just what the evidence and all of that points to. progressive genes, and
Now,
Yeah, well, yeah. I
and
mean, we all
dominant
have
genes.
recessive genes.
Yeah.
You know, we can have
let me say this.
have a chocolate baby. Like in all reality, a black man and a black woman could have a chocolate baby with hazel, light blue
Right.
eyes. It could go
Right.
any type of way. You know,
Right.
it could really go any way.
So I think when people get caught up
Now,
on race is when you see somebody with slanted eyes, you say they Asian, you see somebody with white skin, they European. I think that's what people get caught up on race. I think we human beings, just like a dog can have a white dog can have a black dog and a brindle dog but through segregation and all that, we've been taught that we were separated at a point in history by color. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and today we go ahead.
No, I want to give the floor to Islam before we get to the 4-hour mark, because I ain't planning on doing that long of a live. Wednesday, Islam, can you tell them what time we're gonna be on Wednesday? We could continue the discussion and let them know what the subject is gonna be. I mean, for Wednesday, so they bring their thinking caps and to everybody that's on the panel right now. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know, Vic Slang Hope channel, Islam, drop his channel in the chat. Let me see Vic Slang in here in a while, because I reset a lot. Vic, Hadi, you got a wrench over there?
Nah, I don't think so. Well, I can't really see because I'm on.
Let me see.
Post it in the chat, and I'll just follow back everybody's. I'll subscribe to everybody's shit.
Well, I got a troll channel, so if you ain't into that, don't come over there, because I know there's probably some serious people right here.
I know. One time I saw one guy had a show.
Now, let me see if Islam is back, because his camera was disconnected. Hadi, say something in the chat so I can bring you up real quick.
Hello?
You
hear me, brother?
Have you know what I'm saying? Let me see. Type something.
Hey, where's my brother at? The one that was asking me about the Adam being black.
You know what I'm saying?
Can you hear this? Listen to this.
Yeah, you should.
I'm gonna let you hear this. Listen.
If we're gonna go from 0 to 5 in the life of the Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wa
Hold up, you in the
which is the most important period for the life of the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you must have knowledge of the women, of those great women who surrounded and reared the blessed Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sahbihi wa sallam, alladhi bu'ith ila al-aswad wal ahmar, the one who sent to the black and he sent to the red, as he says in Bukhari and Muslim, sallallahu alayhi wa sahbihi wa sallam. And how is it, as we heard Abdul Kareem make mention of, Allah Ta'ala elevates him, mashallah, tabarakallah, that we as Muslims, that we follow the way of those who went before us, the Christians. We follow the way of those who went before us, the Jews. What did they do to the son of Mary, alayhi salam? The same thing that they did to the son of Mary, that they made a white Jesus, we do to Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we make a white Muhammad, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and nobody's ever believed that it's the complexion of the messenger of God. Nobody's ever believed that's the complexion of the people who surrounded him. Nobody ever believed that it's the complexion of Abdul Muttalib, the Sayyid al-Butha, radiallahu ta'ala anhu warda. Yani Abdul Muttalib, black. The sons of Abdul Muttalib born like the blackness, the darkness of the night in the hadith it mentions about the complexion of the sons of Abdul Muttalib. And thereby we can show disdain to any of the colors of Banu Adam, but especially the colors of Banu Adam that surrounded the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You want to ask the question in Bukhari and Muslim, when he said to the black and the red, this is his words, the black and the red, al-aswad al-ahmar. Who's the black? Who's the red? And black al-Arab, hakada, nobody's interpreted in a different way. The black are the Arabs, hakada he says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The red are the non-Arabs, hakada the Prophet sallallahu is alluding to, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And if you love the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you will love everything about him. وإلا تتبع سنة الذين من قبلكم, that you're following the ways of those who went before you. Sheikh al-Butha Abdul Muttalib, mashallah, tabarakallah. We drink Zamzam because of him. Sheikh al-Butha Abdul Muttalib, Natuf al-Kaaba, we make tawaf around the Kaaba because of him. Mut'im Tayr al-Sama, the one who feeds the birds of the heavens, his name is, such that those birds of the heavens will repay to Abdul Muttalib. As he stands there, أَلَمْ تَرَ كَيْفَ فَعَلَ رَبُّكَ بِأَصْحَابِ الْفِيلِ. Do you not see what Allah Ta'ala did with the riders of the elephant? لماذا? Why? Because of Sheikh al-Butha, and the one who's in the loins of Sheikh al-Butha sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.
Alhamdulillah. That was hard right there.
Now, Islam.
That's supposed to be a cookball right there, right?
Now, and that's what I'm saying, and that's why I said the Arabs, they was called Saracens.
If you want to look this brother up, his name is
which is the most important painting for the life of the Rasul.
We got to get ready. We got to get ready.
Yes, I love you, brothers. I appreciate y'all coming in.
Peace. Appreciate
y'all. Salam. Tell them what the next class is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And is that a kung fu outfit you got on?
I'm dead.
Yo, he sent me a joint of a dude kicking around and shit. I thought that was
the last
my
dragon.
brother.
Yes, it is.
Now, tell them what the next class is gonna be. What time? On Wednesday.
Inshallah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. I didn't let you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's your floor.
Inshallah. Y'all got my. I sent my link. So please subscribe and like.
Drop your link again right now.
Okay, and we could try to do something Sunday, maybe for about an hour. But do you brothers have a Quran? If you don't have a Quran, can you get one?
I have somewhere at the crib.
I got a bunch of these. I got a bunch of Qurans.
Oh, y'all got Qurans and y'all ain't reading them.
Oh no, I read. But, you know, I don't. I dabble here and there. Like
what I want to do.
Like to read all of the books. You know.
What I like to do is if we could go ahead and start from the beginning. We'll do the first one, and then we'll go to the second one, and then we'll read 10 of them, 10 verses, and then we'll talk about it and come to an understanding on it.
All right.
And if you
I got the leather bound joint.
If you wanna learn how to recite it in Arabic, we could do that too.
Yo, Mac, you know I still got the Quran from like 20-something years ago. I still got that one.
Noble Quran? Or you?
Yeah, I got the. I'm not gonna say it, but you know which one I got. I got that one.
I used to actually go to the masjid with one of my peoples and all that, and they used to let me sit in it and all of that too. You know, I always got respect for the Muslim.
I had a Quran, man, that had blood on it from the Attica riot, man.
Wow.
I lost it, man. My teacher gave it to me.
Wow.
You know, and that was like I sent the link up. I sent the link already.
All right.
That was like had Attica blood on it, bro.
That's crazy.
So this is brother. I'm gonna pin it. Type 1 in the chat just for no reason.
Yeah, and if your brothers want to, I don't know if you can send me a message through there. Or I'm usually whenever Mac means on, I'm usually out there, in the shadows.
All right.
You know, so I would like to try something someday just to start it off, see what happens. Maybe let me see what time.
So what, y'all gonna do another room? You said next week, Wednesday?
Yeah. The next thing I'm gonna do with Matt is gonna be how the Bible subjugates and enslave people. That's I plan on that being the next one, and then the next one's gonna be like Allah got 99 names and Father ain't one.
Okay.
I had planned the next one to show you in the Bible where they use alcohol to subjugate their people, just like they did to the Red Indians, and just like they did to the Aboriginals in Australia, and just like they do us here in America.
Well, the Bible says you're not supposed to drink. You're not supposed to drink the wine.
Because
most of the Christians I know get pissy drunk.
Well, I know some Muslims that smoke weed and get drunk myself.
Yeah, well, they ain't supposed to.
They ain't supposed
No,
to.
well,
That's what I'm
smoking was frowned upon by the prophets, but was never considered to be haram. I'm not
I
trying to
don't know.
justify it, but
I think
If
smoking
they,
is. I
if
think
they
smoking
smoke
is
weed in those
haram.
days,
Yeah, I think smoking is haram.
anything,
it was frowned
Anything that
upon.
anything that right. And I'm not Muslim, but you know I like to study.
But in Islam, what he said, it's makruh, it's frowned upon. It's not forbidden.
Hold up
But
now.
I think it's haram. Anything
Hold
is
up.
haram. Anything that intoxicates the mind is
Hold
haram.
up now.
what smoking?
Well,
Yes.
I mean, with how many, with how alcohol affected so many.
It said intoxicants and gambling. That's what it says in the Quran. It says
that covers
intoxicants.
it all.
Scholars
it.
have already issued fatwas on this. They have, there's a unanimous consensus that anything that alters the mind is an intoxicant.
It's intoxicant. Yeah.
Cigarettes
Now,
too.
according to Shiites, hold up. According to Shiite, right? It's not. Hemp is perfectly legal.
So even for Sunni though, because it's the same. It's the same.
Not for Sunni. Not for Sunni.
Only people who smoke weed say try to justify.
Let me just say this.
Overeating is haram, then, right?
This is what it is. Listen, if you drink or smoke weed, according to the Sunni school of thought, it's haram. It's completely forbidden. If it alters your mind state, like Hadith said, then it's completely forbidden. You might get your head knocked off if you get caught smoking weed by some Muslims. And some strict, like back in the days when I first took Shahada, you had a group of people that was called the Ansars. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Ansars and the Hanafis is really who you really knew. You didn't really know that we didn't really know about the Shafi, Maliki. We didn't know about all this other stuff. We just knew the Hanafis and a lot of these. Yeah, the Ansars were black. You know what I'm saying? And those niggas, the way they operated, just you smoking the blunt. You know what I'm saying? You'll get your head knocked off. So
Well, I tell you this one thing. I'm Christian, and when I learned that getting head, no disrespect, is sodomy. Damn.
Wait a minute. I didn't know that.
You know, brothers, don't get extreme and start making stuff up. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm just saying. Listen, I'm just keeping it real.
You know
look up sodomy. I'm just keeping it real. I repent every night. But I'm just keeping it real.
But just, there's certain things you can't do with the wife. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like you can't go on her butt. You can't go on her butt. You can't touch her while she on her period.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, look up sodomy. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
can you eat the girl pussy? If you eat your girl pussy, that's sodomy.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you
like this.
Oral sex is sodomy. And those that lie and say they don't.
This is a family show. Let's show.
Okay, let's keep it clean. No freaky.
Well, hold on. Y'all was talking about. Wait, hold on.
Let me just say this.
Let me say no before y'all say no freaky. What's the name of the title of this show?
The title of this show is No Freaky.
I'm gonna have to call Sonny on y'all, man.
Listen. It says is the Bible X-rated. Hold on, man.
Should we change? You know what? We should change the name of that.
Are we X-rated?
And that's what I'm saying. Y'all saying no freaky. X-rated is freaky. That's all.
Okay, so let me change the title. Let me see.
Now you can go switch it up.
Hey, my brothers, I enjoyed you guys.
I enjoyed this too. Peace. Appreciate y'all.
I enjoyed y'all, man, and inshallah, we'll make it happen again. Hopefully, we can come up with some good content and have some good conversations and build together.
I will say this: if any trolls pop up on here, if y'all listening, I'm going listen.
You gonna pack them out?
Here. Yeah, we packing them all out.
You gonna
my
be
gun on his cop.
You gonna be the troll security.
Well, I didn't let everybody up.
That's what I do.
I didn't let everybody up. A lot of people popped up.
Who that talking? King Troll?
That's me.
Oh, you got a partner. Don't worry about it.
All right.
You gotta drop your channel, King Troll, please.
Okay, now let me just put a disclaimer. Don't come over there if you ain't with the trolling and all that. I just want to put a disclaimer. Yeah. So
Yeah, say that. Everybody go pack some shit out. I'm with that shit every now and then, twice a week.
Y'all some beautiful brothers. I really enjoyed talking
Hey,
with
I
y'all.
want y'all for the kicks of it, right? Go to the title and read the title again.
Matter of fact, if you want to go to the channel, it's King Troll.
Right.
So I'm giving you the free will to do that on your own. So if I see you over there, you can't say, "Oh, I didn't know I hit the link." No, you type in King
You know
Troll.
exactly
You go
where you at.
right. There we go.
All right, King Troll. All right, we lit. I'm with the shits.
Yo,
I'm
we
with
need
that
4
shit.
hours.
Okay, well, that's
Appreciate
good.
y'all.
That's
All right,
good.
I'm
That's
out of
good.
here. Appreciate God bless y'all. I don't
Hey,
know how to say
I really
God bless
enjoyed you,
in
brother.
Arabic.
Peace be upon you, man.
Peace be upon you.
Now I'm gonna bring everybody down. Salaam alaikum. You know what I'm saying?
Walaikum
Disco
salam.
Day. Appreciate you pulling up. If people don't know, me and Disco Day, we prayed together a lot. You know what I'm saying? And salute to all the brothers that pulled up. This was a great build. You know what I mean? I'll see y'all Wednesday. I'm out.